How is it going, guys? So tonight we are going back. Since last week we finished Gabriel Knight Part 1. Tonight I am treating you to a delicious new FMV game that I discovered about a week ago. So tonight we are playing the Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker. So it's time to play. We're gonna have to start a new game.
The faculty thinks I've gone loopy, like some kind of spongy Mobius strip. That's why I'm here, isn't it, Dr. Decker?
I can see people's dreams.
I've set up an experiment.
My dad is trying to hurt me.
Quantum suicide. Have you heard of it?
If I concentrate hard enough, and I know when the person's going to be asleep, I can have the dream with them.
Well,
so now we're
let's
having
call him God.
An idea of
He
what we're going to have to
creates this
deal
world for
with.
his amusement, something he can play with and occasionally alter to suit his mood.
It feels like the paintings are watching me.
Sometimes, when I walk through a door, it takes me somewhere else. Literally, somewhere else.
He's
God
playing
loves
Portal!
chaos, but something goes wrong. Man and woman evolve. What was once chaotic becomes, well, more ordered.
Starts as a door-to-door saleswoman. Double glazing, probably.
Dr. Decker, I think we both know what you dreamed about last night.
I've seen its silhouette changing through the window.
Because he thinks I'm evil. Because I can see
Travis!
other people
Hey, it's been a
can't.
long time, buddy.
On
Thanks
the
for dropping
basis
by.
that the central component of our universe is chaos. Science can.
You're gonna
only
love this
document
game.
the
This game's
perception of chaos
amazing.
At any one given moment in time.
I did what you said, Doctor. They arrested me.
Which means that at any given moment, we can choose to alter
5
our
times.
perception of the world. No matter how much chaos that would cause.
I thought you were supposed to fix me.
Oh, you're gonna
telling
love
you,
this one.
It's eating people. And you're just laughing.
You're insane, Doctor.
Yep. So,
Listen to me. You're
sorry,
not
wait.
listening. It's your only bloody job.
I'm gonna explain. Okay, actually, it's not, we're not done yet. So, I'm gonna explain basically what's going
And
on.
after all those promises, never mind.
Oh, Jaya,
You're late.
your
And
assistant.
after all those promises, you're late.
You're
and after all
late.
those and after all those promises, never mind.
Jaya's amazing. She's pretty good. All the actors in this game are amazing.
Doctor, you're late. And after all those promises, never mind. Let's not keep the patients waiting. And if you want anything, just... Oh, sorry, I forgot. I'm not going to be here. The police still have some questions they want to ask about, you know. And then after that, I'm dropping in to see Ben. He's still in shock, and I thought we'd show we cared. We do still care, don't we, Doctor? Good. Anyway, I hope you're all caught up on Dr. Decker's tapes. I think Mariana is in first, but I'm sure they'll all become a blur by the end of the day. I'll see you later. Or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. I'll leave it to you then.
Okay. Can I go? Alright, perfect. So, this is basically what's going on. Dr. Decker was the old psychologist, and he was murdered. This is what we're going to learn. So, and we're suspecting that one of his patients might have done it. So, now what we're going to do is we are the new doctor that's taking his place, and we have to meet up with all the patients. So, we're going to meet Bryce, we're going to meet Mariana. There's Jaya. Jaya is the one that was speaking to us. She's not actually a patient. She's your secretary, I guess. And this game works a little bit if you've ever heard of Her Story, where you have to type in like words to try to find footage. It kind of works that way. We're going to have to ask questions. This is basically what the game is telling us now. So we have to... So these are basically the people that we can meet. So we have Mariana. We have Nathan. Poor Nathan. We have Ellen. Ellen is the nurse. Yeah, she's a nurse. I remembered that. She's always trying to help people. We have Claire. Yeah, she's kind of freaky. And we have Bryce. Bryce is awesome. I love Bryce. Alright, so now what we need to do is we have to decide who we want to start with. We have Mariana as well. So I think we should start with Mariana. Just a feeling. Alright, so now you can always ask for hints. However, or in this case, you can basically like it gives you, if you don't want to type, it gives you like an idea of what you could ask. So for example, I'm gonna start by typing in hello.
I'm Mariana. Are you feeling okay?
Okay. So it's giving you like ideas of what you could write. So she's asking me if I'm feeling okay, so I'm gonna say yes, I'm feeling okay.
That's what Dr. Decker would say.
Alright, so how are you?
I think you're supposed to tell me what's wrong with me. Isn't that how it works? The police keep picking me up for public nudity.
Alright, so now we get to learn a little bit more. So let's say, what brings you here?
I have no idea about that.
Okay, so that's basically when the game doesn't recognize your questions. So, alright, Vincent, you're an idiot.
That doesn't really mean anything to me.
Hey Vincent, how's it going? Alright, so let's see. So you were arrested?
Nope. Don't know.
Okay. Let's see, what do they say? Do you know anything about the murder? You have been picked up for public nudity. Alright, let's go with that.
I black out. And then the next thing I remember, I'm naked on the beach. Like I've been washed up on shore. Nobody's pressed charges yet, but I can feel it. The police are getting suspicious.
Let's say, why is the police becoming suspicious?
I think they think I'm a naturist or something. They picked me up 5 times in the last month.
So she's been naked 5 times on the beach in the last month. Good old coffee. That I'm gonna spill later all over my PC. Alright, so let's see what we can learn. Tell me about the beach.
I work for myself. I make bracelets from things I find on the beach and sell them online.
Oh, she's a hippie.
I spend a lot of time at the beach. It's just way more relaxing than anywhere else. You should come with me one day. I can show you all of the sights.
Alright, so I think we have an idea what kind of relationship this is gonna turn out. Let's ask her, how often does she black out?
I do suffer from blackouts, which is strange as I can hold my breath for a really long time. But I'm not swimming before I black out. Dr. Decker thought it was anxiety originally. Then he worked it out.
So how did he work it out? Work it out.
He eventually decided it wasn't anxiety, but I'm not going to tell you his final diagnosis. We should have a fresh start. I don't want you influenced by the prognosis.
Vincent says, I just got in from listening and watching the Atheist Experience, so I need rational conversations. The people that called in, about 2 of them were nuts. I have no clue what that show is about, but I can guess. Anxiety. How do you spell it? Do you suffer with anxiety?
Dr. Decker thought I had generalized anxiety disorder. GAD? Because of the blackouts. He thought I was breathing badly. Do you think I'm breathing badly?
Do we think that she's breathing badly? No, I don't think so.
I don't have an answer for that.
Oh. Sorry. No, I don't think you're breathing badly.
You can check my breathing if you want. Do you want me to lie down? Can you tell just by looking at me? I'm not worried about it, just if you are.
The flat earther idiots trying to claim that... you know what's funny is that... I'm not sure if you saw at the beginning of this movie, but there was a professor that was saying if you take the knowledge of something and then you change it, you create chaos. So he was talking about that. Alright, so should we ask her to lie down? Now, don't worry, there's no nudity in this game.
I'm not sure holding my breath too long is causing blackouts. I mean, it could, but I don't remember ever having a blackout when I'm holding my breath.
Alright, so let's take a look to see. I want her to lie down. Lie down. Oh, okay. Alright, so when I forgot to show you guys that we can actually change from one patient to the next. You can see that there's either red, yellow, or green lights. So when it's red, we have to keep on asking questions. When it's yellow, we can consider that we got all the information, but there's always some details that we can get, and until the person is green, we can technically go on. Okay, so I just want to take a look. So if you want to see like all the questions that you asked before,
you can check my breathing if
and
you
you
want.
can rewatch scenes.
Do you want me to lie down? Can you tell just by looking at me?
Do you want me to lie down? I'm gonna ask her, can you lie down? Oh, alright. I guess not. Oh guys, sorry about that. If you see the message about Super Blood Hockey, I apologize. I forgot to remove it. No, Vincent, I'm not gonna ask her that. Especially since she might actually see the stream. So I have to be very careful of what I say and what I do. Okay, so what are we trying to figure out? So she's having blackouts at the beach. What are you doing before you're... We're gonna come back to the murder because, again, this whole game revolves around one of the patients could be the murderer. And what's fun about this game is that if you guys ever played the old FMV game Ripper with... shit. Fuck, what's his name? Watkins. Anyways. You have... I'm trying to remember who you have. You have... anyways, you look it up. Ripper, it's an old FMV game from the 90s. It kind of works the same way. Christopher Walken. There we go. That's who I was looking for. Thank you. So... the game chooses a murderer, and it's random each time, so I'm hoping that I'm not going to get the same one I did the first time I played, and I'm not going to tell you guys who it was the first time. Vincent wants to know, how old is this game? This game came out last year, 2017. It's pretty new, and it recently won an award for the most FMV in any game. There's like 7 or 8 hours of FMV, and it beat the record. The previous owner of the record was, I think it was Space Commander 3 with Mark Hamill back in the 90s, so there's a lot of video to find. And I don't think we're going to find everything, so... what are you doing before the blackout? So she's not holding her breath.
I normally black out when I'm dancing.
When I'm dancing.
Do you like dancing?
Do you like dancing? Do we like dancing? Sure.
I don't know about that.
Yes, I like dancing.
Cool. I dance to anything with a beat.
Alright, so, where do you dance?
I dance a lot at nightclubs. I know most of the nightclubs around here. My favorite is the Pearl because they sell cheap vodka shots all night.
The Pearl. What is the Pearl?
The Pearl is great because the people are so relaxed. I think that's got a lot to do with the cheap vodka shots, or maybe it's just the black lighting. Who knows?
Alright, I'll ask her. Can you dance?
That doesn't mean anything.
Do you want to dance?
No, I don't know about that.
Do you want to flirt with me?
Wow.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's get straight to it then. I'm not sure I feel comfortable speaking with you about that at the moment.
Oh, maybe later.
I dance a lot at nightclubs.
Nightclubs, okay, yeah, so we already did this. Let's take a look. What else do we have? Maybe dancing causes your blackouts, maybe alcohol. Yeah, let's go with alcohol.
I don't drink.
Okay. What prognosis are you looking for?
I want to stop having the blackouts. I want to stop waking up at the beach. I want to remember those entire evenings. Can you suggest anything
Exactly.
that might help?
Prognostics. I can't say it. I'm French, so prognostic in French. You mentioned cheap vodka. Oh, no. Maybe dancing causes your blackouts?
You think my dancing causes my blackouts? No, I know it's the last thing I remember, but I don't think it's that. Sometimes I remember more, but I'm tired now. Is that it for today?
No, we're not done. Alright, so we see that she is now yellow, so we could technically move on. Prognosis. Alright, thank you, Vincent. I feel a lot smarter now. But we didn't ask her about the murder. And I want to try to... Here, let's try to ask her if she ever tried to film her blackouts.
I film myself doing lots of things.
Yeah.
But it's not so
I
easy
bet
to
she
do
does.
when you're blacked out.
Oh, Mariana. Can someone watch you when you black out?
Will you do it for me? Will you watch me to see what happens?
Do we want to watch her?
So, it's a date then. I'll let you know when.
Okay. That's what supplements her bracelet incomes. Yeah, let's ask her. What about your income?
That's not really helping with my blackouts.
Yeah, of course not. Let's ask her about the murder. So again, remember that we are trying to figure out who the murderer is.
Well, that's why you're here, isn't it? You've replaced him. He was a good listener. I hope you are.
He was a good listener. Alright, so how was he a good listener?
Dr. Decker could really get inside you.
Get inside you.
It was, unsettling. But you let him do it. Part of the process, I guess.
Yep. I can't believe I'm gonna ask this.
I don't know.
Alright, thank you. Alright. Oh shit. Do you ever find your clothes after your blackout? Is your hair wet when you wake up? Why do you hold your breath so much? Tell me about Decker. How long have you been a patient? Let's go with, why do you think people will press charges?
I guess people see me and call the police. But someone will take offense eventually, and I'll be charged with indecent exposure.
Yeah. Do you ever find your clothes when you get arrested?
I never find my clothes. I don't know why I'm naked.
I think you know why you're naked.
When I wake up, my hair is dry, but it's pretty hot at the moment. I get baked quickly by the sun. It's possible I've been in the sea during my blackout.
Okay. Tell me about Decker.
Dr. Decker was fine.
Fine.
He had good relationships with his patients as far as I know. I'm not sure why anyone would want him dead.
Did you kill him? You answer me! Don't lie to me! How long have you been a patient?
I've been a patient here for 3 months. Today is my patient birthday. Do I get a cake or something?
Does she get a cake? Yes, you can get a cake.
That is so sweet. Thank you, Doctor.
You know I'm not gonna get you a cake, eh? I could sure go for a cake myself. Why do you keep going at the beach if you keep on having your blackouts?
Until somebody tells me it's going to kill me, I'll keep going. Have you ever been addicted to something, Doctor?
Have I ever been addicted to something? Alright, so one of the hints that they give you in this game is that you always want to try to match what your patient is saying. Like in this case, I'm going to try, even though it may not be true. I've been addicted before to streaming.
I thought so when I first saw you. We should get on great.
You see, I'm trying to see if she can open up. Her thoughts. Guys, her thoughts. Alright. Alright, so let's see why she holds her breath.
I hold my breath when I'm swimming underwater. Most people do. Sometimes, if I'm really excited, I'll hold my breath accidentally. Just for a few seconds. I don't know why.
How does all make you feel?
Like you're not listening.
Why? Okay, so now we're out of questions. We could type hint, but I'm trying not to play this as a no hint session. But if you guys have any ideas, just leave them in the chat and we can see. We can always come back to her later. And we don't have to find everything. It's more fun when we do. The game has 5 days, I believe. And we have to solve the we have to find out who is the murderer by the end of day 5. So we could actually move. Let's go to Nathan. Ah, yes, Nathan. I remember Nathan. Yeah, he's actually pretty good too. He is living. He's living like the Groundhog Day. So he's basically reliving the same day over and over and over. So let's talk to him. What's wrong with you? Here, let's say hello first.
I'm Nathan Peel. I'm a supermarket worker from, well, hell, really.
You're from hell?
I imagine what I'm experiencing now might be a type of hell. Not everyone burns in flames with the devil on their back. I'm hoping you can make sense of my problem.
So why
It's like
are you
those
here?
montages you get in movies. Time passes, you wake up, shave, if you feel like it, shower, get dressed. What's the point? You get this day over and over. Nothing changes. Am I in purgatory, Doctor?
Am I in purgatory? Why do you think you're in purgatory?
Because I'm stuck between this day and the next. Most of the time, anyway.
Alright, so why does nothing change?
Sometimes it looks different. Sometimes the bird song will change, or the weather will be less bleak. Or that person who nodded at you yesterday doesn't do it today. But it doesn't usually change. You need a tragic event for change.
Ooh.
Like a murder.
Oh. The fuck? Alright.
Dr. Decker's murder was sudden. Brutal. It's terrible.
Did you do it?
The doctor. 2 weeks. 2 weeks I had of rolling days. No do-overs. No Monday.
Alright.
I wouldn't kill anyone, though. I'd have to keep doing it, wouldn't I? Few things seem to move me forward.
Alright, so he's basically saying as soon as he learned that the doctor had died, he was okay for 2 weeks. So what's the tragic event?
I didn't see the driver. It was my fault. I pulled out and the lorry just rammed me. Well, Hannah. She was sat next to me. I was in shock, obviously. And when I came to, she was so close to me. It was like she was trying to hug me. But it wasn't right. Not natural. Bits of metal pushing through her.
Oh.
That was 5 years ago.
So he was basically he had a car crash with a lorry. What exactly is a lorry, guys? I have no clue what that is. Anyway, so and his fiance apparently died in that accident 5 years ago.
I've been shrunk for that already. If I had that day again, I wouldn't make the same mistake. Hannah would still be alive. We'd probably have a family by now. I haven't had any relationships since then.
Well, maybe he needs to see people. Okay. He was hit by a camion. Alright. Who is Hannah? I bet Hannah is his fiance.
My fiance.
Yep.
My childhood sweetheart.
Aww.
We met at secondary school. She was head girl. I was the quiet one. She liked computer games, so I instantly fell for her. I proposed in Goldshire.
I proposed in Goldshire.
So I leveled up to a human necromancer and asked again. Sorry.
Wow.
It's Warcraft. We spent a lot of time on there.
So, you like Warcraft?
We played World of Warcraft a lot together. I guess it's not the cool thing to do anymore. But we had a lot of memories there.
Wow.
To be honest, it reminds me a lot of life now. The same thing over and over again. Bring me X bunnies to make a stew. Y badger teeth. Rinse, repeat. Maybe I'm just grinding life.
Yeah, that summarized World of Warcraft pretty much. 5 years is a long time ago.
I was fine for quite a while after the accident. Well, being treated for depression. I thought I was cured. It was only recently after meeting Dr. Decker that I had a strange deja vu. I'm exhausted. Doctor, is our time up?
No. Damn, stop trying to run away. Tell me about Decker.
Dr. Decker was a complex man. I spent a lot of time with him, but he won't remember it that way.
Why won't he remember it that way?
As far as Dr. Decker was concerned, we had Monday, then moved on to Tuesday. But me, I had Monday 5, 10, 50 times before I got to Tuesday.
Wow. Why Mondays?
I watched that Bill Murray film, Groundhog Day to see if there's any clues.
I remember. That was a good movie.
To see if there's any clues. That's how bad it's gotten. I'm looking for a cure in a Hollywood movie. Can you help me, Doctor?
Of course I can help you. That's why I'm here. Yes, I can help you.
I don't know how, but thank you, Doctor. This is our first time around, and I trust you.
I hope you do. Hope you're not gonna try to kill me. Alright, so Nathan is finished. Well, actually, we can still go on. I want to see what he has to
I saw
say.
the conflict that Dr. Decker was going through.
Conflict?
Let's just say you might look back on your life and think there's nothing you would have done differently. No 2 days were alike for him in the end. Like he couldn't decide what to do with himself.
What conflict?
He was like a kid in a sweet shop. He had so many options, he didn't know what to do. I suppose if you take too long picking, all your options run away.
You mentioned a montage?
Most of my days a blur. I'm not sure if it's the sleeping tablets I'm on or just how I've learned to switch off.
Oh, he's on sleeping tablets. You're on sleeping tablets?
I'm on temazepam. Dr. Decker prescribed them for me.
Temazepam?
He thought I would sleep through to a whole new day. I didn't.
Hey chérie, c'est quoi du temazepam? Tu connais ça? C'est ça l'aide à dormir, c'est ça? Okay, alright, yep. Alright, my wife says she's a nurse and she tells me, yeah, that's what it's for, so... Can you go back and save Hannah?
No, I can't move backwards any more than a day. I don't really seem to control it. It's generally always on. I have to try and change something to move forward.
Okay, so he was talking about a murder. Why are you grinding life?
I'm not really fit for work anymore. I work in produce at the local supermarket. That mainly involves lifting heavy crates of fruit and veg into place for people to buy, and doing that over and over again. My muscles don't seem to have grown much. I think that maybe I'm not aging. When the day resets, I just reset with it. I used to be a builder.
Oh. You used to be a builder?
I used to be a builder. Contractor. I had to quit.
Because
it's
of the
hard
accident?
watching a house get built, only to start all over again the next day. I needed something less obvious.
Ah, because he was working on the house and he had to build it again. Wow, okay. You don't think you're aging?
I'm 57. Kidding. Just if you spent the whole day at the gym and then repeat that day and not go, you'd have achieved nothing.
Okay. Okay, so is there something that we want to ask this guy? Why not see other people?
I don't know. Sorry.
You should see other people. People.
I don't know anything about that.
Ah, fuck you. Alright, so we have a good idea of Nathan. Mariana, Ellen. Okay, so Ellen is a nurse, and she's basically always trying to help people. So let's say hello. She's always like, hello!
I'm Elin. I'm 25, and I'm a nurse. God, I sound like I'm on one of those dating shows.
Why do you say you're on a dating show?
I'm not really looking for love at the moment. I'm sort of married to my work, but in a good way.
Of course. Why did you kill him?
No, sorry, I don't know.
I have no clue. She wasn't even the killer when I played the first time. What type of nurse are you?
I work in a nursing home for the elderly. I basically do end-of-life care.
End-of-life care?
The usual things. Making sure the patients are comfortable, making sure they're not in any pain, and I talk to them. I keep them company. Some of them get pretty frightened about what's coming. Well, those of them that aren't out of it on meds. I comfort them.
Alright, so why are you here?
I started seeing Dr. Decker a few months ago. I thought it would be nice to have someone I could talk to about work. It can get a bit stressful sometimes.
Why is it stressful?
It can be sad sometimes. I don't like losing a patient.
No one does.
But that's the job. I don't get stressed about it or anything.
Why don't you get stressed?
It's not the job that stresses me. It's the people I work with. The other nurses. They're mean to me.
Why are they mean to you?
They call me the angel of death because so many patients have died on my shift. I don't think they mean it. Obviously, it's not my fault. It just seems to happen that way.
I just happen to kill everybody I meet.
Death is frightening, isn't it? Isn't it what everyone's afraid of? The great unknown. No one should have to face that alone.
Why are some patients out of it on meds?
I don't like it when patients are heavily sedated. Especially when there are alternatives, like herbal remedies. I mean, imagine if you only had a few days or weeks left to live.
Herbal remedies.
Would you want to spend it asleep?
No, I wouldn't want to spend it asleep.
Exactly. I feel like it's almost criminal. Like you're robbing people of their last moments on Earth. You should be able to savour the experience, not sleep your way to death.
You savor death? Crazy woman.
I'm not saying anyone should be happy about dying. I've seen lots of people die. And
Vincent says, actually, I would want to spend it asleep. Really?
There's literally nothing else like it.
I kind of get what she's saying, that, you don't want to... if you would be like a vegetable, or, I don't know, in a coma. You mentioned herbal remedies. I wanted to ask her about that.
I'm a qualified herbalist. It's okay, you can laugh.
A herbalist?
Most people think herbalism is a joke.
So what is that?
But I'd much rather help my patients sleep at night with valerian or passion flower than lorazepam, temazepam, or zolpidem.
Oh, she knows her meds. How many patients have died on your shift?
3 last month. 3 the month before that, I think. But only 1 so far this month.
So you still have 2 more to kill. Yeah.
Although one of my patients, Hilda, I don't think she's got long.
Why is that?
She's one of the crotchety ones. Always swearing and spitting at me. Never got anything nice to say. Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep or something. She doesn't bother me though.
Why would she ever think that? Herbs that don't really help you, although there is some debate about those things. Huh? Okay. Oh. We have a note. Sorry for writing in your notes. Say hello to Ellen for me and let her know that Terry called for her.
Terry's one of the other nurses at the home. I don't think she likes me very much.
Why doesn't Terry like you? We got a note. Who is Terry? Why doesn't she like you?
I don't know anything about that.
Okay. So tell me about Decker.
I've known a lot of doctors over the years. Most of them arrogant idiots who think nurses are just there to do their bidding, or worse. Dr. Decker was different. He had a lot of time for me. He was interested in my problems.
So what are your problems? Okay, wait, I just want to say something.
I've known a lot of doctors over the years. Most of them arrogant idiots who think nurses are just there to do their bidding, or worse. Dr. Decker was different.
Alright, so how was he different? How was he different?
Dr. Decker was a strange one. He wasn't what I expected, that's for sure. I had mixed feelings about him.
Oh. How long had you been seeing Dr. Decker?
I'd been seeing him for about 9 months, I think.
Wow. 9 months. What mixed feelings did you have about Dr. Decker?
Maybe it's natural to have mixed feelings about your therapist. I mean, you tell them all your secrets, and they have all this power over you.
Really?
You've got to trust that they know what they're doing. I think Dr. Decker knew what he was doing.
Hopefully. Did Dr. Decker have power over you?
Therapists have power over their patients' mental health, don't they? I mean, if you really wanted to, you could probably really mess me up. It's okay, Doctor. I trust you.
Did you trust him?
Of course I trusted Dr. Decker. He was my therapist. Why would I see a therapist I didn't trust?
Maybe because you were in love with him? Maybe not. I don't know. What do you know about Dr. Decker's...
I think it's terrible what happened to him. So awful. No one deserves to die like that.
So, how did he die?
No.
No, she doesn't know. Alright, so we pretty much asked her everything. She still has... she's playing with her pendant.
I'd really like to be able to answer you, but I don't know.
Nice. Where did you get that pendant? She doesn't know. Alright, let's go see Claire. Hello.
My name is Claire Castleford, and as I'm paying a small fortune for these sessions, I'd expect you to be up to speed, Doctor.
Small fortune?
Being rich has its perks, but honestly, I would give it all up in a heartbeat if it could free me from this madness.
So why are you here?
Well, according to your predecessor, I'm a delusional psychotic with obsessive tendencies. Oh, and a history of violence. Sounds so cold when you put it like that, though, doesn't it?
What history of violence?
To be fair, there was only one violent outburst that hardly qualifies as a history of violence, and he provoked me.
What was the outburst?
I
Yeah, she's a
stabbed him with a
bitch.
steak knife.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, I forgot
Shocking,
that.
isn't it?
I forgot that. You stabbed him?
It was a brief moment of temporary insanity. Or temporary clarity, I'm not really sure which. David had been having an affair with his assistant optician, Iris.
Oh.
How predictable. Not just the affair, but an optician named Iris.
She has a point.
I'm obsessed with my husband. It's absurd, really.
Why is it absurd?
Because he is here.
Huh?
And he shouldn't be.
He shouldn't be?
No, that doesn't mean anything to me.
Why shouldn't he be here?
He's lucky to be alive. He almost died.
He's lucky to be alive, he almost died. But she was accused for murder. Why is he lucky?
My husband is not a well man. We've been having problems for a while now.
Why is he not a well man?
His health, if you can call it that, has been deteriorating rapidly in the last few weeks. I can't cope with caring for him anymore.
How is his health?
Since our altercation, he's become less and less active. His mind's become less and less active too. Such a delightful conversationalist at one time, now more of an enigmatic husk.
That's just fucking crazy.
David has trouble looking after himself. Sometimes I'll leave the lake house and he's just sitting in the rocking chair on the porch. And when I return the next evening, he's still there, just staring into the stars. He needs help, I know, but I can't hire anybody to care for him.
Why not? What's the lake house?
David's staying at the lake house. It belonged to my parents, but I don't use it much anymore. I have the main house to myself.
What do you mean by altercation?
I tried to hurt David once. That's why I'm here, isn't it? I'm not proud of my behaviour, but I was very angry.
Because of his
affair. It was a private matter, though. The police should never have been involved.
No, of course not. You just tried to kill your husband.
I never used to get angry. Ever.
She's
if
crazy.
You're angry, you're not in control. Isn't that right? And it would be very bad for me to lose control.
Is that a threat?
I'm going to have to plead ignorance on that one.
Tell me about your delusions.
Delusions. As in seeing things that are not there. I'm not going to be any more specific. It's not true in any case. I'm not delusional.
No, of course not. Why is it bad to lose
Let's
control?
save that for another time, shall we? I'm rich, but I'm not made of money, and I'm fairly sure my time is up.
Tell me about Dr. Decker.
The most shocking thing about Dr. Decker's death is that he didn't bring it upon himself. But then I hadn't known him for a very long time. Perhaps I was wrong about him.
Do you think Decker was... Okay, who is David?
Keep up, Doctor. David is my husband.
Yeah. Why were the police involved?
The police seem to think I'm dangerous. I'm only sitting here talking to you because I have a lot of money. Otherwise, there's no doubt I'd be thrown into prison for a very long time. That's why I need your help, Doctor.
How can I help you?
I need you to believe me. That's why I'm paying for these sessions. Everyone else thinks I'm crazy and dangerous. Everyone else thinks I've lost my mind.
Yeah, well, you stabbed somebody with a knife.
I assume they think I'm dangerous because I stabbed my husband.
Why aren't you in prison?
I suppose after what I did, there are people that might think I belonged in prison. What do you think, Doctor? Can I be saved with therapy, or should I be locked up like a dangerous criminal?
Of course, I can't say that she should be locked. I think you can be saved.
Sorry, Doctor, I can't answer.
Yes, I think I can save you.
I don't know anything about that.
You can be saved with therapy.
You have a lot of faith in your abilities. That's good. I look forward to being completely cured.
Wow. Do you think Dr. Decker was suicidal?
Dr. Decker just had that look about him. You know what they say about us crazies. Takes one to know one.
So you think he was crazy?
They think I'm seeing things, making things up. I don't want to talk about it.
Alright, now we have one of my favorites, Bryce. Hello. Who are you?
I'm Bryce Hemmings. You must be the new doctor. Did you know Dr. Decker?
No, I did not know him.
He was an antagonistic psycho. I hope you're not from the same school of thought.
Why was he a psycho? Why was he a psycho?
I didn't really like Dr. Decker, and for quite a few reasons, actually. I'd rather talk about my own problems for now, though, if you don't mind.
Problems.
Originally, I was suffering with depression. Work was piling up. I kept missing deadlines. I wasn't used to all the failure. I got depressed.
What's your job?
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
Ooh.
And people are dying quicker than we can bury them.
Okay. Why didn't you like
Dr. Decker would say one thing and do another. He would push me to do things I didn't want to do. He was getting worse towards the end. I'm surprised he didn't kill himself.
I just guess creepy. Why were you depressed?
You'd think being a gravedigger had its perks, but it can be very stressful. There's a trend going towards burial rather than cremation again. And as well as running out of space, we're running out of competent gravediggers. At least ones that can use a shovel, that is. I'm not feeling anywhere near as depressed as I used to, though. Not since I got the extra hour.
Not since extra hour. Oh yeah, I remember this guy. This guy believes that he has an extra hour each day where everybody freezes.
At midnight each day. Time as you know it freezes. In my world, it just slows down to almost a stop. But I don't. I'm free to wander around and do as I please. An hour later, normal reality continues. It's my very own midnight hour.
I'm gonna ask him who uses a shovel.
Henley Church, where I work, is located on an old Norman motte and bailey. You can't use mechanical diggers or excavators there in case you destroy a relic.
What kind of relic?
I stumbled across a relic myself. An ancient chess piece. A queen, I believe. The best chess piece. The most freedom of movement. But they took it away immediately and proclaimed the whole east side of Henley Church a protected site of archaeological importance, which means we're not allowed to use it until the archaeologists have finished.
There's no stupid questions in this game.
Anyone.
Henry Church?
Henley Church is relatively small. Well,
Henley Church.
For the number of bodies they expect us to pack into the ground, it's relatively small. The whole building was once owned by Scientologists.
Oh, Scientologists.
They handed it back to the community as a tax break, I believe. Or they'd finished doing whatever it was they wanted to do with it.
Scientologists. That's not how you say
it. Henley Church is relatively small. Well, for the number of bodies they expect us to pack into the ground, it's relatively small. The whole building was once owned by Scientologists.
Scientologists, alright. Scientologist.
I'm not sure I believe in any religion anymore. I used to believe in God. Not anymore. There are too many religions to pick from, don't you think?
Yes, I think so.
Is that something I should know about?
Oh, I think I didn't do the right one. Yes, there are too many religions.
Then we agree. Have you watched Zeitgeist, Doctor? Some of it is believable, and the part about most religions stemming from the same basic facts. It's more likely they've all got it wrong than one of them has got it right.
So, what do you mean by midnight hour?
It's a bizarre thing to know you have an extra hour every day. I rarely ever sleep until after midnight now, so I can appreciate the extra time. I get a lot of work done in that time. I'm completely caught up. The depression is no longer an issue. 25 hours is a blessing for me. But apparently, it's not real, and I'm insane for thinking it is. What do you think, Doctor?
If I think you're insane? I don't think you're insane.
I thought it would be too early to make a diagnosis, but it's good you're having a go anyway.
Alright. What do you do in the extra hour?
In the extra hour, I mainly catch up with work. It's a godsend. Sometimes I play chess against myself. It relaxes and strengthens the mind all at once.
Do you know anything about Decker's murder?
Yes, Dr. Decker was murdered. Quelle surprise. Murder does seem a bit harsh, doesn't it? And another grave to dig. I know as much about it as you do. Less, I would imagine.
Do we have any notes? Mariana, verbal mirroring, a new study using the same words as your patient increase stress. Use yes or no. If my patient seems confused, say hello to the patients, find out what's wrong. Do you like chess?
I like chess. I still play sometimes when I can find an opponent. There's nothing more satisfying than planning scores of moves in advance and then watching things unfold as you saw them. I shouldn't have told anyone about the Queen.
Alright, let's see. I already did. What are your problems? So that's good. Alright, so now we have a decision. Why do you like planning moves in advance?
I do like to be in control, but then I suppose most people do. Nobody wants life to carry them along helplessly. Everyone wants to kick against it and make their own way. Do you like to be in control, Doctor?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I like to be in control.
If you like being in control, you'll have a tough time here. I saw it with Dr. Decker. Such control, such stability. But he unraveled at the end.
So how did he unravel?
He couldn't keep control of everything, of everyone. He just set us up like dominoes, but we all toppled in unexpected ways. You'll find it all out in time, Doctor. Just not today. Can't have your head exploding, can we?
Yeah, this guy's creepy. Alright, so now we basically finish questioning. We can either try to get more information from specific characters, but we need to figure out what we need to ask them. Or we can just go to day 2. So what do you do in the extra hour? I already asked him that. Claire, does she have anything? No. Ellen? Mariana? Nathan? So, unless you guys have any ideas, I think we should just go to day 2. Alright.
Oh, Doctor, glad I caught you. I thought you might want to hear what Ben had to say. Quick catch up?
Yep. Alright. Who is Ben?
I'm not sure what you're getting at. Can you be more specific?
Tell me about Ben.
I'm not sure Ben will be coming in for a while. He's still pretty shook up about finding the body. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often in the line of work he's in. Anyway, he said he found the body at exactly 20 minutes past 10. For some reason, the first thing he did was look at his watch. That's all he'd say before he'd shut down. The police weren't very talkative either.
So Ben is I believe he's a janitor that found Dr. Decker?
Yes. Ben found Dr. Decker's body on Valentine's night.
Ooh.
In his office. In your office.
Okay. Tell me about Valentine's night.
Yes, you know, the 14th of February, the day of love. Or remembering a massacre. Whichever's more you.
I remember I actually played this game not too long after Valentine's Day. I was like, oh wow. So who is Ben?
Sorry, didn't you know? Ben's one of the night shift cleaners. I'm sure he's got some tales he could tell.
You mentioned the
police wanted to know what I was doing Valentine's night, you know, when the body was found. I was at home, all on my lonesome. So I guess that makes me a suspect.
Yes, actually. Yes, you are a suspect.
I think the police want you to make a short list of suspects, or maybe even find the killer. You're seeing all the patients that were on the books when he was killed. There was no forced entry, so they think it might be someone he knew, or someone who had access to the office. Yeah, like little old me. Do you think I'm a suspect, Doctor?
Well, yeah, I mean, I used to work night shifts and I definitely have many stories to tell, not on there, though. So, she could technically be a suspect. So let's say no, just because we don't want to, but of course she's a suspect.
And you barely know me. I'm flattered. They did mention I needed grief counselling though, and I said you'd sort me out. I know you haven't agreed, but just so you know, it's very kind of you. I'll see you tomorrow.
So she's going to become one of my patients. So how well did you know
we were
Dr.
best
Decker?
friends, but we did spend a lot of time together. There's only 2 of us that work here. I'm sure we'll become friends too, Doctor. Just try not to get murdered.
Wow, thank you.
I don't know exactly, but a stabbing of some kind.
So he
we'll
was
be getting
stabbed.
the autopsy through at some point. I'll let you know when.
Were there any clues at the crime scene?
I didn't see it myself, so I don't know. But I heard it was a bit of a mess with all the blood and everything. You know, they have people who clean up after such things, though, so you really can't tell, can you? But don't worry. That's a new chair.
There's something about her that cracks me up. Why is it a new chair?
All I know is the police took his chair. Forensics, I suppose.
Okay, probably because that's where the body was.
He was stabbed, so that's quite a personal thing to do. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of the patients who had a problem with the treatment they were getting.
Is this game on Steam? Yes, this game is on Steam. And of course, I highly recommend it. You think a patient killed Dr. Decker because of their treatment?
I'm just surmising. If you're unhappy enough to kill your therapist, they're probably not doing a very good job.
Oh, Jaya.
I wasn't really in his social circle, so I don't know if he had any friends. In terms of enemies, I heard things get heated in his office
$10
sometimes, but I won't name any names.
I think, I'm not sure, but if you... Yeah, I think it's about $10 more or less. Oh, sorry, I just need to head back to my channel. There we go. Alright. Maybe you should name names.
Susan, Annabelle, Melissa, there are some names, but they're not names of anyone I know.
Okay, she still has stuff that she can tell us. What can we ask her? Hmm. I have no clue. How well did you know Dr.
I wouldn't
Decker?
say we were best friends, but we did spend a lot of time together.
Okay. You found the key points, so there's some few details that we still need to do. We'll just continue, see what we can find. So,
I'm having a loop day.
nope. Nathan. What the fuck? What do you mean a loop day?
It's a do-over day. You won't remember. What's the name of your assistant again?
The name of my assistant is Jaya.
You didn't know that yesterday. Can you remember where I met Hannah?
You met her in high school.
Well done, Doctor. Yeah, we met at secondary. Wouldn't it be funny if my day loops if you fail to get a question right?
No, it wouldn't be funny.
I agree.
Oh. Okay. So I guess we did that part.
I'm having a loop day.
Oh shit. He's having a loop day. Ah. We have to
It's a
go
do-over
over.
day. You won't remember. What's the name of your assistant again?
Jaya is my assistant. We met her in school. Oh. Oh shit. What the fuck?
Yeah, at secondary school. It's been fun, but I've got a pill.
Okay, what pill?
Dr. Decker gave me this pill. He told me if I took it, I'd never have another loop day. It's got a small skull and crossbones on it. Should I take the tablet, Doctor?
Oh. So should he take the tablet with which is probably poison? Sure, take the tablet.
Okay. Okay. See you on the flip side. Mom?
Okay, so I guess we are dreaming.
I'm having a loop day.
I guess.
It's a do-over day. You won't remember it. What's the name of your assistant again?
This is weird.
Well done. Can you remember where I met Hannah?
Sure.
Yeah, great. Is there anything you can say that's going to break this loop for me?
Tell me about the pill.
I never mentioned a pill this time, or a tablet. What the hell is going on here? Are you reliving my days?
What do you think? Why do you think I'm reliving your days?
Something somewhere has changed since you arrived. Like some kind of sim theory.
What's the sim theory?
It's a thing. Some professor believes we could be living inside a computer simulation and someone is controlling us. And there are millions of these sims. And someone somewhere behind a keyboard is just causing havoc.
Like me.
I'm starting to think you have that keyboard, Doctor. Wait, don't answer that. I don't want to know.
Okay.
midnight each day.
On Valentine's night.
Time as you know it freezes.
20 minutes past 10.
Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home.
David is my husband.
All on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death.
When I'm dancing,
You get this day over and over.
Hilda.
I black out.
I don't think she's got long.
And Laurie just...
Naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Is that it for today?
Alright, so we made it to day 2. That was fucking weird. Act 2, Valentine's Day.
Deja vu. Are you sitting in exactly the same place I left you last night? Oh, that's where it all starts, Doctor. Anyway, do you think you can fit me in today? Looking at the diary, it's just the usual suspects, and you must be getting sick of them already. I've got this for you, too. It's some more footage from Professor Alderby that was hiding away.
Oh. So we got some evidence.
Come find me if you need anything.
Alright, oh, we have new people that we'll be able to see. But first, let's take a look at the footage.
Nothing, of course. The faculty thinks I've gone loopy, like some kind of spongy Mobius strip. That's why I'm here, isn't it, Dr. Decker? Him, God, the great old one, the elder god, Cthulhu, however you address him. Listen to me! You're not listening! It's your only bloody job! Well, let's call him God. He creates this world for his amusement, something he can play with and occasionally alter to suit his mood. God loves chaos, but something goes wrong. Man and woman evolve. What was once chaotic becomes, well, more ordered. Without chaos, he has less power. When there's too much order, he becomes impotent. So he needs to instill chaos again. And do you know how he does this? No. And yes, but you're being too granular. He needs chaos so he can return, and the only thing stopping him is you. Not just you. You and people like you. Psychiatrists, doctors, nurses. Anyone who is caring for people who are losing their sanity. You have no comprehension how important your job is, do you? He doesn't need your version of insanity to spread. He needs chaos.
He needs chaos.
It's not the same. It's just a means to an end. They're not all cultists, unfortunately. Once you see the truth, it's hard not to spread chaos yourself, to cause further insanity and harm your own. I doubt it. But can I make you question your reality? Definitely. But in doing so, I would be promoting more chaos. On the basis the central component of our universe is chaos, science can only document a perception of the chaos at any one given moment in time, as by definition, chaos is unpredictable from one moment to the next, which means that at any given moment, we can choose to alter our perception of the world, no matter how much chaos that would cause. In 10 seconds' time, there will be no gravity in this room, and we will float. 3, 2, 1. You think nothing happened. Where's your glass, Doctor?
Ooh. Okay. Ooh. So that was weird. Alright, so we have Lacey, we have Jasmine, we have Bryce, Claire, Mariana, Ellen, and Nathan. Alright, let's go with Lacey. Oh boy. Alright, she's dead.
I'm Lacey Hendricks.
So you don't know about me then?
No, what about
Where
you?
to start? My next door neighbour in Jobson Hill, where I live, she was murdered. 80, and they diversion burgled her. But she was wise to it and started calling the police. They slit her throat with a bread knife.
What the fuck?
So I started a neighborhood watch.
Okay.
It was me and Agnes.
Agnes?
Everyone else thought we were overreacting. If they want their throats cut, that's up to them, living in their bubbles. But Agnes... Poor Agnes.
So what happened to Agnes?
She went missing, and still is. And that's what people think. But it's not the truth.
Alright, so what's the truth?
It killed them.
It killed
It
them?
looks normal enough. A smartly dressed, door-to-door saleswoman. I know because I heard my other neighbours shout at her. No Jehovah's! They think anyone knocking is a Jehovah. But she said she was selling double glazing.
Double glazing? What the fuck? Was the woman really selling double glazing?
I don't know. I didn't answer the door. Best not to nowadays. But I watched her go to Agnes's. Poor Agnes. She let her right into her house.
I don't remember this part from the game. What happened after Agnes?
I could only see the silhouette. It turned from a person into a, well, it looked like, I guess you'd call it a Medusa. Snakes for her face. And Agnes just fell to the floor.
What the fuck?
A few minutes later, the woman left, smiling like the cat that got the cream. That was the end of Agnes.
Yeah, proof Agnes is dead.
I saw it with my own eyes. What more proof do I need? You're starting to sound like Dr. Decker. He didn't believe me either. I didn't have much luck with him, like I said. He didn't believe me. He thought I was having a hallucination caused by the stress of my neighbour being so brutally murdered. Where is Agnes, though? I haven't found her, have they?
They haven't found her. I don't know. Did they... I should ask Lacey about the neighborhood watch.
They haven't found her because that thing ate her. Or made her disappear or something.
Ooh.
A useless husband managed to survive unscathed, though. Don't know much about him. Other than the fact that he looks at me like I'm 6 foot under every time we meet. He doesn't seem too bothered she's gone missing either. He did at first, when the police were crawling around. But now they've gone, that stopped. If I hadn't seen that thing eat her, I'd...
You suspect the husband?
No. He's a Weasley little man. He spends far too much time in his garden. It's probably like the National Trust back there. The constant digging and building, pruning and sawing.
And she's weird. Was Ron digging a grave?
What a thing to say! Why would you say that? I kept watching the front door after that saleswoman had left and nothing. She didn't leave. And you can't get out the back since the council sold the garage block. Ron's a gardener, not a killer. Unless... Agnes said Ron was laying the foundations for a new greenhouse. You don't think...
You think Agnes is in the foundations?
I need to call the police. I need to call them now. But they won't listen to me. I tried to tell them about the monster, but they didn't believe me. They won't believe me about this, I promise you. Please, could you call them, Doctor?
Oh shit, what do we do? Sure, I'll call the police.
Thank you, Doctor. Now give me a pen and I'll write down the details for you. Don't you want to know why Dr. Decker called me the leech lady?
Oh, yes. Why did he call you the leech lady?
He said that I leech thoughts from people. Suck 'em right out of their heads. And I can put thoughts in there too. I'm not that clever though, am I, Doctor? I mean, it's not as if I was having an affair with Ron and Agnes was in the way and needed to disappear. So I made this story up. I mean, what do you think I do for a living anyway?
Alright, she's fucking crazy. You sell double glazing?
Doctor, you're so good. We're going to get on just fine.
What the fuck?
I was at Henley Church. They had a service that ran right up till midnight. For us less fortunates without a love in their life. Well, now. Do you have someone, Doctor? Do you have a love in your life?
Do I have a love in my life? No, I haven't found love yet.
Garden Club. You should come with me one night. It's a lovely way to meet new people.
Sure. Yeah, of course I'm gonna go with you. Alright, so you see, we got all the information, so there's nothing more we can ask her. So let's see who Jasmine is. I remember her. I do remember speaking to her.
I'm Jasmine. I don't come in that often. What happened to Dr. Decker?
So she says that, I see pictures are looking at me.
Oh. When? How? Sorry, you probably don't know, do you?
Oh, we have notes. I should tell Jasmine that Decker was stabbed.
Ouch. I didn't really know him that well. I'm trying to remember what I was doing on Valentine's Day now.
Ooh. What were you doing?
We had a display in the gallery based on Love Conquers All, so I had to work. Mainly it was a collection of giant hearts sat on things, but I ran into another patient, Bryce.
Oh.
I'd never really spoken with him before, but he's quite an art critic.
So she spoke
I couldn't
with
get rid of
Bryce.
him until I finished work at 11. There's actually another guy who takes over on the night shift. I'm not sure if he kept talking to Bryce though. Providence is open 24 hours.
So she basically just gave me an alibi for Bryce, saying that Bryce was with her until 11, and the murder happened at 10:20. So technically, Bryce is probably not the one.
There's not much to tell.
Do you like Bryce?
I knew he was a patient here. I'd seen him in the waiting room a couple of times. He likes art and talking and looking down here instead of up here.
Okay. What's your problem?
When you see a painting, it stands still. When I see one, it's moving, like a mini film, like little vines. But when there's a person in the painting.
So what happens when there's a person?
They watch me. Normally disapprovingly.
Disapproving of what?
Because they don't think I know how to appreciate art. Because I'm too young. Yes, of course.
She
Otherwise
works
I
at
wouldn't
an
be
art
working in
gallery. Yeah.
I love art. I love paintings. Like I said, they move for me.
They move for me. Oh. How do they
When I
move?
want them to normally. when I want to really get inside what's going on.
Want me to ask her if she's
Some
an artist?
paintings, I can't stop.
Oh.
I don't really have anything to say about that.
Nope. Which paintings can't you stop?
I've been working on portraits at home.
Up.
Outside work.
So I think she is
But
an
my
artist.
paintings aren't so good. Nowhere near Providence standard. I painted a man, Dorian. You know, after Dorian Gray.
Dorian Gray?
I wanted to try and capture someone aging, so I divided the face into thirds and painted a boy, his father, and his grandfather in each third. It was hideous. And it started talking to me.
Okay. I think she needs more
That I'm
self-esteem.
ugly. That I have no talent. Nothing will become of me.
That you're ugly? Really?
Is that true, Doctor?
You're putting the question mark after a space. The game may not understand. Okay, I'll try to. Is it true? No, it's not true.
I hear it so many times with that wretched painting. It's in my head. But thank you.
But thank you. Oh. I should ask how she felt about Decker.
He was shy. And then less so. When I told him about my problem, he told me to set fire to it. Yeah, he could have been more specific. I tried to set fire to Providence. At that time, I thought the only way to fix my problem was to set fire to the entire art gallery. Several paintings didn't make it.
Yeah.
Luckily, my boss didn't press charges.
Wow.
The police did arrest me, though.
Tell me about your boss.
My boss, Petra. She's just lovely like that.
Petra?
Providence has gone through some tough times, and I've only been there a year. She invested her life savings, and it's still not making any money. Such a sweet lady. You'd do anything for her.
So was the fire started for insurance money?
No. Why are you saying that? I don't even know if Petra has insurance.
Alright. Did Petra ask you to set fire?
Dr. Decker told me to burn it. It was nothing to do with Petra.
Okay. I'm just checking.
I already ripped up the painting. It screamed as I cut it. And now whenever I close my eyes, I can see it, hear it. I need the tablets, Doctor. I need them.
What tablets?
The temazepam, the sleeping tablets. The ones you gave me last time.
Okay, so you just want the drug.
Dr. Decker gave them to me. They helped. I know it's in my head. I know paintings can't talk. What's wrong with me, Doctor? Why do I do this?
Because you're crazy. I think you lack a little bit of self-confidence.
Thank you, Doctor. I'll think about that. And the prescription, please?
Alright, so we basically did everything for Lacey and Jasmine. So now we have Bryce, Claire, Ellen, Mariana, Nathan. Let's start with Bryce. See how he's doing. Oh, sorry about that. How are you today?
There's something I want to tell you about. Something else that's wrong with me.
You're crazy.
I think I've been getting a bit out of control in my hour.
What do you mean out of...
When I first got the hour, I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen and only I could move, because I live on my own. What would you do, Doctor, if you had an hour where everyone was frozen? Go to a fairground?
No, I wouldn't go to a fairground. I'd go to a fairground. I'd help people. I'd steal things. I'd spy on people. I'd spy on people.
Well, that makes me feel a little better. There's a young mother, divorced, who lives opposite me.
Uh-oh.
Jessica. She's friendly and says hello to me, smiles. I've always wondered what she looks like naked. So 1 hour, I broke into her house. She was standing in her bedroom. I took it as a sign. I took off her clothes and...
Wow. What did you do after taking out Jessica's clothes?
I took photos of Jessica when she was naked. When I'd stripped her. When she was naked and frozen. I didn't want to have to do it again, to strip her again. So I took pictures to remind myself what she looked like. That's wrong, isn't it, Doctor?
What do you think? Do you think it's wrong?
I know. It's that bloody Dr. Decker. He made me this way. It's all his fault.
It's all his fault. I'd steal things.
Yes, I would steal too. And I have stolen. I ran out of milk, so I thought I'd go to the local all-night shop and get some more. I was absolutely intending to pay, but when I got there, everyone was frozen.
Wow, how convenient.
I thought about leaving money on the counter, but
that's why it's a convenience store.
The cashier would wake and suddenly this money would have appeared from nowhere. But I've stolen bigger things.
Like what? What have you stole? Can you see something behind me? I'd help people.
I did think, what good could I do, other than catch up with work? I did see a woman who was having her purse snatched, so I gave her purse back, and the crook, I placed him on a bus a few blocks away. I have no idea where it was going. She'd never really be able to thank me, so I took another picture.
This guy's freaky. I'd go to a fairground.
That was just an example, Doctor. I'm sure you can come up with more exciting things to do than that.
Yeah. Why is it Decker's fault?
Like I said, I originally presented with depression, and everything was going well for a while. Then Dr. Decker changed.
So how did he change?
He was easily distracted during sessions, like he wasn't listening. I'm pretty sure he wasn't listening half the time. I don't think he wanted to know about his patients anymore. But when he did give you advice...
What advice did he give you?
He told me to use my imagination, to make something up, to think something crazy, and it would become real. He told me to think of a way to get more time. So I did. But he pushed me. He made me think it.
I have no clue what he's talking about. Bryce asked what I would do if I had an extra hour. Maybe I should suggest things he might have done to gain his trust. I wonder if he's stolen anything or spied on anyone or helped anyone. Okay. Where were you on Valentine's Day? So technically, we know that he was at the art gallery until 11.
I spent most of Valentine's Day at the art gallery. Well, the evening part, anyway. They had a display with the theme, Love Conquers All. I didn't get most of the paintings, but they were well done.
Okay. Tell me about Decker.
I dug the grave for Dr. Decker.
Oh.
I helped carry his coffin to the burial site. Do you know what? It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it. Why do you think that is?
Because the body was not there? Was Decker's coffin empty?
No. The coffin wasn't empty. There was something in it. A decoy, I'd imagine.
So he thinks there was a decoy.
I'm guessing he was buried somewhere else, or cremated. Somebody somewhere didn't want his body going in the ground. Do you want to be cremated or buried, Doctor?
I prefer to be cremated.
That's a good choice, Doctor. Less work for me.
Less work for me.
Possibly a relative of yours. Possibly a patient that died here. I'm not sure. She doesn't normally say anything.
What? Who the fuck? Alright, have they found any more relics? Have you ever destroyed anything?
Yes, I suppose I've destroyed a few things whilst in the hour. You can be the perfect supervillain. Nobody knows it was you.
So what did he destroy?
That wretched dig goes on 24/7. 25/7, if you ask me. Your patient, Nathan, caused quite a stir. He interrupted one of the female students all night, apparently. Made her miscategorize some findings, going on about his dead girlfriend. It's amazing what you hear at the coffee machine. Well, I suppose that's a bonus. We're allowed to use their coffee machine while they're there.
Alright, so he started talking about Nathan. Why didn't you stop seeing Dr.
Because you
Decker?
have to hope, don't you, Doctor? It's only the power of hindsight that made me realize how toxic it all was. And after a point, you go too far to be able to come back anyway.
Alright.
Not something I know about.
What is this game? Hey, Yvette, we are playing The Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker. You're going to see this game. This is an FMV game from 2017 where we are a psychologist and we are treating patients. Was with a female student, all Valentine. Okay, alright. So we are basically questioning patients because there was a murder and we're trying to figure out who is the murderer. So let's go talk to Nathan. How are you today, Nathan?
Hello again, Doctor. I had a bit of a shaky loop incident, but let's not talk about it. Yesterday, I set fire to Hannah's clothes in the garden. I just wanted the day to move forward. I instantly regretted it. And lo and behold, here we are, a new day. Hannah's clothes are a pile of ashes.
Alright, so why did you burn her clothes?
I've kept almost all of her stuff as she left it. It's just the clothes. I've decided to burn those yesterday, so here I am. Hannah loved clothes. Every season, she'd donate her entire wardrobe to some charity or another, and only buy stuff she loved. I was left with winter. I don't even know what her favourite season was. Does it matter? What's your favourite season, Doctor?
Alright, so just so that you're not too lost, Yvette, Nathan, the one we're talking to now, 5 years ago, he was in an accident, a car accident, and killed his fiancée. And ever since then, he's been diagnosed with depression, and he recently started to have what he calls the loop days. So basically, every day, every Monday is repeating. So he thinks he's reliving the same day over and 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 over again. So now what he was saying is that he needs something to move the day forward. Like he was saying, we need a murder to, or whatever. And in this case, he was saying that he burned his dead fiance's clothes, and that managed to let the day go by. So now he's asking us what's our favorite Our favorite season. Let's go with spring.
If you like spring, you're supposed to be optimistic and creative. Well, that explains why we're still having these sessions.
Okay. Alright, what did Decker
Dr.
think
Decker
of you?
felt that Hannah was holding me back. The memories of Hannah. In his opinion, I was holding on to the past. So I guess he cursed me. If that's even a thing.
So, Dr. Decker is the old psychologist, the one that was murdered, and we think it might be one of the patients, so we're trying to figure out who might have killed him. So that's why we're questioning the patients about what were their thoughts about Dr. Decker.
Yes, Dr. Decker cursed me. I don't really want to talk about it, but let's just say I blame him for the way I am. Can you give me some advice, Doctor?
Sure, I'll give you some advice. You are crazy.
I've been trying to think how I can get past today. I've come up with a couple of choices. I could set fire to Hannah's photographs. I've got them in Dropbox anyway. But setting fire to the clothes did the trick. Or setting fire to a rocking chair. She sounds like an old lady, but she loved that rocking chair, which I've not sat in since. Which one do you think's best?
I don't remember what I chose. So, he's basically seeing the rocking chair every day, and he's not seeing the photograph, so I'm thinking he should burn the... Well, he shouldn't burn anything, but let's say the rocking chair.
Set fire to the rocking chair. I never like the way it moves forwards and backwards. Forwards and backwards.
Yep. Like if it's repeating the same thing over and over again. What were you doing? So, somebody else here, Bryce, told us that Nathan was with a female student all Valentine's night. So let's see if the story holds up.
I was at Henley Church on Valentine's Day, visiting Hannah's grave. It was the anniversary of her death. Her parents wanted a huge funeral with all the trimmings. Hannah would never have come for it. But it does give me somewhere to visit. I got to write the epitaph.
What was the epitaph?
We walk alone without our angel.
Are you religious?
I'm not religious, but when I wrote Hannah's epitaph, I knew her parents would want some acknowledgement of the great bearded one. But she was an angel to me. She was an angel to everyone.
You are like an angel without wings, so you're basically a human. When did you leave Henley Church?
I left Henley Church about 11 o'clock on Valentine's Day. I was talking to an archaeologist who said it uncovered some fossils resembling a strange cephalopod-like creature. Strange place to find an octopus, really. What? Do you think I've got something to do with Dr. Decker's murder? Maybe you should ask your assistant who Decker saw that day.
What were you doing at the time of Decker's murder?
It was a missed call. It was Valentine's Day, so I wasn't in the mood for conversation. I've been alone since Hannah. I can't imagine anyone ever replacing her. Not that I've looked. Do you think I should look for someone else?
Yes, you should look for someone else.
Okay, fine. I'll try. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for, though. Just sign up to Tinder and start swiping. Maybe it's just company I'm missing. Although I don't really want any.
Yep. Tell me about your mother. Huh? What's your favorite season? What happened to the archaeologists? What's a cephalo? So this is basically like a...
It's a sea creature, like an octopus. I suppose they find dinosaur bones everywhere. Just because we're on land now doesn't mean millions of years ago this place wasn't at the bottom of the ocean.
I think the game plays on 5 days, if I'm not mistaken. What happened with the archaeologists?
She was interested. Maybe I misread. Maybe she was just being kind. I suppose most women wouldn't enjoy me talking about my dead ex for hours.
And what's your favorite season?
I like winter. Being snowed in with Hannah. Just the two of us. It's paradise.
Okay. Tell me about your mother.
She's dead. Thanks for bringing that up.
Okay. Alright, so Nathan still has some information that he could tell us. What happened with the relic?
Should I know something about that? Sorry.
Murder weapon.
Sorry.
Alright, let's see. We have Claire, Ellen, Mariana. I'm gonna keep Mariana for last. I'm gonna keep the best for last. Alright, let's talk to Claire. Hello, how are you today?
It's the anniversary of my parents' death today.
Ah.
I went to the lake house. I always go to the lake house anyway. But it's also where they died.
So how did your parents die?
They died of carbon monoxide poisoning. I was staying at a friend's house. Otherwise, I would have died too.
What did you do at the lake
For a
house?
while, looking across the water. It's peaceful there. It's the place that makes me feel the most. There was a girl there, by the lake, only about 9 or 10. She was fishing, if you can call it that, with one of those nets on a stick.
Did you speak to the girl?
I don't know why I talked to her. She looked sad. I don't usually talk to children, but she seemed different, special. I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I, Doctor?
I don't think you need my permission, but sure, yes, you can talk to the girl.
Good. It felt nice. I felt like I was being nice. I felt human. So I can find her and talk to her again, Doctor. Then I will. I'll look for her next time I'm there.
I will find her and I will eat her, haha. Why was the girl
David
sad?
had been hunting again, and, well, she's seen some of the skins he hung around the lake house.
Where is David today?
David wasn't there. Or at least I didn't see him. I didn't go inside. I forgot my key, and the spare was missing.
What skins did the girl see?
Animal skins. David hunts, then skins. It's horrible, really. He's not really good at either job, so the skins still have great lumps of bloody carcass hanging off them. I'm sure he'll get better with practice.
Sure. What were you doing on Valentine?
Dr. Decker was killed. I had a session with him in the morning at my usual time, 11 o'clock. That was the last time I saw him.
But did you talk to Decker about your last
Dr.
session?
Decker made me an offer that I couldn't refuse.
What
I'll be
was it?
taking it to the grave with me, though. As did he.
Bitch. When did your parents die?
It was 12 years ago. I was still very young. Too young to be an orphan, anyway. I had to toughen up quickly.
How did you meet David?
Met isn't the right word. David has always been there, in the shadows, on the periphery. I move in very exclusive circles. You tend to see the same faces.
Okay, and do you love your husband?
Love? Yes. I suppose I always will.
What were you doing?
Valentine's Day night, I was at the lake house, watching David, like I always do.
Yeah. Why were you watching David?
He has trouble with his mental faculties and is getting worse. Yes. I watch him and make sure nothing bad happens.
What kind of exclusive circles?
I don't move in any circles anymore. Those people were my parents' friends, not mine.
Let's see, do we have anything on her? Jasmine, Lacey. No, we don't have anything. How did the girl seem special?
I don't know. I suppose she just reminded me of me. I spent a lot of time alone as a child. She said she was trying to catch some strange creatures that she's seen in the water.
what strange creature?
I don't know. Minnows, probably. Everything's strange when you're a child.
Okay. So, that's pretty much it. Let's go to the nurse.
I haven't had a great day, to be honest.
Oh, what's wrong?
Someone accused me of stealing from my patients, which I would never do. Plus, Hilda's getting worse.
So, what were you accused of stealing?
This? Well, it started with this. It's a locket. Alice, one of my patients, gave it to me before she died.
Really?
I have a few other things. A watch, a ring. One patient gave me a little china bird. They're not valuable, just trinkets, really.
Oh, Ellen. They're all trinkets.
Strictly speaking, all of the patient's belongings should be passed on to family members after they die. But Alice's son never visited. He didn't care about his mum. Why would he care about some worthless piece of jewellery? It just doesn't feel right to me. What do you think, Doctor? Am I wrong to keep the locket?
Am I wrong to keep the locket? Of course.
Really? I don't see the harm. Alice wanted me to have it. You and Terry and all the other nurses just don't understand.
What were you doing on Valentine's?
Actually, I had a hot date.
A hot
It wasn't
date.
anything serious, just some guy I know. But it was a nice date.
All right.
Different to what I'm used to.
So, what are you used to? What was the date? Oh, wait, what's this? Ellen accused of stealing said it started with the locket. What else have patients given her? What was the date? Why was the date different?
It was very traditional, old-fashioned, you know. Dinner at a nice restaurant. Then we went for a little walk along the pier. Held hands, had a bit of a kiss. Then he called a cab and we went back to my place.
Okay.
I'm not sure what time Max left. We fooled around for a bit at my place, so early hours of the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I had a session with Dr. Decker on Valentine's Day. 3 o'clock, I think. Just a few hours later, he was... I still can't get over it.
Why did you kill? You think she killed him?
I don't know. Are you happy, Doctor?
What the fuck? No, I'm not. Actually, yes. Yes, I am happy.
You seem happy. You have a very positive energy.
Alright, that was weird.
Hilda's the one I mentioned in our last session. She's dying. I can tell. I need to see her before it's too late.
Okay, why do you need to see her?
To help her finish her unfinished business. People who are dying always have things they wish they could do before they go. We leave a lot of loose ends in our lives. We're very messy that way.
Do you have any loose ends?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think I have any loose ends. I don't know what that says about me.
I don't think if I ask the same question, I think it's just gonna basically. You see, When I said, did you kill, it said, can you tell me anything else about Dr.
Yes,
Decker?
I had a session with...
I guess.
You seem happy.
What happens if I say, no, I'm not happy?
Sorry, no.
No, okay. What is her unfinished business?
Hilda wants to see her daughter.
Ah.
She's in Australia, so I'm going to have to use my talent.
Alright, what is your talent?
I can change my skin. What I look like.
Really?
I can turn into a patient's loved one.
Oh.
I just hold their hand and ask them to imagine that the person they want to see is sitting right here next to them, and I become them.
Oh, so you morph.
It's how I help them move on. That's how I comfort them.
So you see, basically everybody in this game has like a special power. So one thing, she has an extra hour. She says that she can morph. So how does it comfort them?
I only shift at work to help my patients. I don't have any interest in using it as a party trick or to deceive anyone.
So how do you change?
I don't know how it works. I just know that it does.
Alright. Who accused you of stealing?
Of course, it was Terry that accused me of stealing.
Terry?
One of the other nurses. She's actually trying to make out that I'm some kind of HSK.
What's HSK?
Healthcare serial killer.
Oh.
You know, like those nurses that kill loads of their patients. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. Anyway, because a few of my patients have died on me, and
yeah,
some
like
of those
8
patients
in
have
like
given
2
me
months.
gifts, Terry thinks it means that I've been killing them off.
That would be crazy. Who was your date with? She mentioned Max.
His name is Max. He's really sweet, but I don't see a future between us. Here comes the money.
Oh! Here comes the money!
Here comes the money.
Alright. Hey, thank you, Shadow. Holy crap, that scared me. You gotta love that song. Here comes the money! Alright, hey, thanks again, buddy. I appreciate it. That was awesome. So tell me about Max.
I've known Max a couple of years, but this is the first time we've been on a date. I don't think he's boyfriend material.
Why isn't he boyfriend material? Why did you fool around with Max if he wasn't your type?
What do you want me to say? It was Valentine's Day. Everyone deserves a little loving on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm gonna ask her. How big was his penis?
I feel like you're asking me questions about something I don't know anything about.
Alright, so how was Dr. Decker on since you're the last one that technically saw him?
Dr. Decker seemed fine on Valentine's Day. He seemed to be in a good mood. It didn't seem like anything was bothering him.
How can you tell when people are dying?
I can sense it, you know? It's like when you're outside and there's a sudden change in the light or the air feels different and you know it's going to rain. It's like that. I always know when one of my patients is fading, even before the doctors know. Their energy changes. Sounds silly when I put it into words. Oh, I sound like my mum.
Sound like my mom? Alright. Alright, now we're we're back to Mariana. Alright, so let's ask her how she's doing. How are you today?
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session, and no blackouts, new doctor, and new hope. You're much better behaved than Dr. Decker.
Ooh. Better behaved?
Dr. Decker dated his patients.
There we go.
That's not good behavior, is it?
No, it's not.
Don't know.
Oh.
It's cold in here.
Oh, it's cold in here. Do you want a blanket? Blanket?
Clueless.
Clueless. Alright. Which patient did he date? Besides you, obviously.
I think her name was Scarlet?
Scarlet.
One of his patients. An older woman.
Okay.
I guess that's how he liked them.
She looks jealous. What were you doing?
I didn't have anything to do on Valentine's Day. I washed my hair and I walked along the beach for the whole night. It's actually true.
Yeah, because everything else you told me so far is a fucking lie. What can you tell me?
We went out for drinks. Didn't you know?
I thought you didn't drink.
He said it was a breach of something or the other, but I can be pretty persuasive when I want to be.
I bet. Alright. You went for drinks?
Yeah, drinks. I think Dr. Decker ordered neat whiskey. Egg water. I don't drink.
You don't drink.
I guess it was a couple of days before Valentine's Day. It wasn't a date or anything. I noticed in our sessions that he'd been acting a little strange. He just...
You guys notice her pendant?
Right. I wanted to find out what was wrong.
I mean, no, why would I notice her pendant? I didn't even see she had a pendant.
I know, it's pretty hard to believe, isn't it? I feel pretty ugly. But I think I have a nice smile.
You're not ugly.
Lots of people find me attractive, but I've seen something truly beautiful. Makes me feel dull by comparison.
What have you seen?
I have a recurring dream where I find something beautiful in the sea. But I don't know you that well yet, Doctor. Let's wait a while before I tell you my most intimate secrets.
Sorry to cut in, Doctor.
Fuck.
I've just had a phone call from a solicitor. Ben's trying to sue us for nervous shock. Should I go and see him to talk it out, or should I find a solicitor to represent us? Sorry to be pushy, I just think we should act quickly before it's too late.
Yeah, well, maybe you should just give him the same scare you gave me. Yeah, bitch. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Let's... Okay, wait. Your notes. I thought Mariana said she didn't drink. Helen... Okay, alright, yeah, we got that. What's your intimate secrets?
Wouldn't you like to know? Is our session up now?
Jaya. I had completely forgotten about that. How do you feel not going to the beach?
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session. Kind of missed it.
Okay. Why have you missed it?
You do something a lot, you're gonna miss it. I suspect I'll go back there soon, but it's helped with the blackouts.
Okay. Were you seeing Decker?
People are quick to put labels on everything. I suppose Dr. Decker was more than just a therapist to me. We had a lot of things in common, but we weren't seeing each other.
It was just physical. Are you so... She's gonna turn this around.
I'm not seeing anyone at the moment. Are you offering, Doctor?
So, are we offering or are we not offering? Here, let's go. I'll wait for you guys to give me the answer. Are we offering or
I've
not
danced
offering?
around in my living room, but no clubs since last time. I like dancing around in my underwear. Sometimes less.
Yes, indeed. Now you guys see why I love this game? Why it's amazing?
Some girls say that they're washing their hair when they don't want to go out, but I was genuinely washing my hair. Do you think my hair's pretty, Doctor?
Oh, do you think my hair's pretty? Alright, okay, yes, I'm offering.
Well, you have my number, Doctor, and my address. I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together, if you want to.
Oh my god. Yes, your hair is pretty.
It's such a mess. But thank you.
Yeah, she's a good actress. She's pretty awesome. Why do you feel the need to ask if your hair is pretty?
I'm insecure, Doctor. Isn't it obvious?
Why are you insecure? Ah, come on. Yes, you are.
No idea.
Ah, alright. We need to speak with Jaya, unless we have... Like, every one of them have something else to tell us, it's just that we have to try to figure it out. And I'm not using any hints, so that's why... And even though I played this game, I haven't found everything. She's Canadian, I'm almost... No, actually, I believe she's English. I think this game was made in London, if I'm not mistaken. But, just in case... What the hell? I should mention, guys, actually, I'm gonna... Well, I was keeping it as a surprise, but I recently reached out... to the makers of this game, and I'm gonna have an interview. I send them a few questions, and I'm just waiting for their answers back. Shouldn't take too long, I'm guessing. So make sure to. I'll let you guys know once I have it, once it's up. So we're gonna be able to know a little bit more about the backstage of this game. All right, Jaya. So she's our assistant, as we can see. Alright, so tell me about Ben. Ben is the one that found the body of the previous doctor, the one that was murdered, and now he's saying he's going to sue us. He says he's going to sue us.
So, should I get a solicitor, or shall we try and talk it out with him?
I think we can try to talk it out.
Good choice. I'll go and see Ben to see if I can get him to call off the dogs. I have no idea what's gotten into him. Perhaps it's his mum.
And how are you?
Hey, you. Thanks for helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it, though.
The grief thing? Shall we talk about grief?
I don't really know where to start. I feel a bit numb. Maybe we should just talk about him.
Why are you numb?
It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener.
Did I notice the
suppose
board?
you'd
No.
need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you fitted in. I mainly miss our chats. He used to work late with me and tell me things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did. What do you think of the patients? Nah, perhaps you shouldn't say. You can ask me. Go on, I'll tell you what I think.
All right. So let's see. Okay, why did you work late with Decker?
We'd worked late together on all sorts of things. He was preoccupied with finding patterns in patients, trying to find some kind of order.
What patterns were they trying to
Mainly
spot?
he was searching for a common experience the patients might have had. That's what led them to his office. He'd study everything, even the referral letters.
Referral letters?
Yes. Letters, parking tickets, holiday destinations. You know, I find those referral letters...
Yeah, wait. Not now.
He was sure there was a pattern in them.
Okay, so we're gonna have to find those referral letters. Mike! What is this, Mike? Alright, you're about 2 hours late, but we are 2 hours in a game. This is an FMV game where we're trying to find the killer of... There was a killer in one of these patients, and we're trying to figure out who the murderer is. I feel like I ask that every time I come into your channel. Yeah, I just can't play like... I can't play the normal games. I have to play all these weird games. But these are weird games that nobody has ever heard about, so sometimes you can find gems. Sorry, I was distracted for a second. Tell me about Mariana.
Mariana is a special girl.
Oh, yeah.
There's something about her that just makes you want to follow her. Maybe that's what a trendsetter looks like.
A trendsetter? So we are presently questioning our assistant. Okay, so basically, the previous doctor was murdered by one of the patients, or so we think it might be one of the patients. So we are the new doctor, so we're continuing his work, and we're passing all of his patients. And she is the secretary, so she's the helper. So we are basically asking her about the other patients, what she thinks.
I think Bryce has a lot of misdirected anger. I don't think I like him that much. You know,
Yeah.
Sometimes when things overrun, he's outside waiting for you, and he stares at me as if he's undressing me with his eyes. You know, he's not the first person that's done that, but still, you know, it feels worse coming from him.
Bryce basically has thinks that he has the power to freeze time and to take naked pictures of women, so yep. Claire, alright, she's the one that stabbed her
Claire
husband.
seems to be shaken by something. You know, I offer her drinks every time she comes in, but she always refuses them. It's as if she just wants to come in, get her session over with, and then run off to do something else. It's a bit rude, isn't it?
She is a bit rude. Tell me about Ellen. Ellen the nurse.
Ellen seems like a lovely person. I'm not really sure why she's here.
She's crazy. Tell me about Nathan.
Oh, I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. You know, he barely talks to me though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom.
Who the fuck is Tom?
Tom was a quiet mess, like Nathan. Youngish, in his early 20s. He taught piano, but he did have a strange hobby.
What was a strange hobby?
Tom liked to base jump.
Oh.
That's basically falling from a huge building or mountain and pulling your parachute before you hit the ground. He started to think he could fly. Dr. Decker tried to talk him out of it, but Tom had to prove his point. So one day, Tom decided to base jump without a parachute. Can you guess what happened?
I'm guessing he died.
He did die. He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock. I wish I'd said goodbye.
What do you mean? Is there someone you wanted to say goodbye to?
I wish I'd said goodbye to Dr. Decker. It was so sudden. You know, here, then gone. He resigned anyway, but that's not the same, is it?
What do you mean he resigned?
Dr. Decker resigned shortly before his murder. No, it's sad, but doctors come and go and only poor Jaya remains. I've got his resignation letter somewhere. You know, I do all the hiring and firing around here. Well, Professor Alderby and the Trust technically do that.
This is actually new, guys. When I played the first time, I did not have a resignation letter. So let's go take a look. So 3 days before he died, to whom it may concern, please accept this letter as notice of my intention to resign from my position. Oh. Ooh, sorry. I am a dude, so. Oh, wait, this is new. You see, last time I played, this is not what happened. I'll be honest, last time I played, Jaya was the murderer. She killed the doctor because he had fired her before the night before, so. Ooh. Alright, Professor Alderby. Okay, so this is the dude that we were watching the tapes of.
Professor Alderby is a trustee. Did I not mention that?
Yeah, you did.
On Valentine's Day, Dr. Decker had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse, Elin, at 3. Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr. Decker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange.
Oh. What's Ben Mom's got to do with this?
She was cuddling him like he was 6. He's 25.
Oh, yeah, I remember. What can you tell me about Dr.
Most
Decker's
of the patients are suspects, according to the police. Almost all the patients are referred, and some of them are privates, but Dr. Decker didn't introduce any of them.
Who or what is Cthulhu?
So you watched the tapes. Gold star for you.
You guys know what Cthulhu is, right? The octopus. They did find the relic in the cemetery. So, and if you guys remember when we took a look at the video, the Dr. Alderby, he was like, "Okay, gravity is going to change or whatever," and you could hear a glass break in the background. So
it smashed.
Okay. Did Decker call Nathan the day he was murdered? I should ask Nathan. All right, let's ask Nathan. Did Decker call you? Oh. Why did Decker call you? What do I need to ask him? Nope. Nathan. Did Decker call you the day he was murdered? Fuck. Do I want to use a hint? Haven't we talked about that already? Okay. I don't want to use a hint. We're doing good. Phone call. Nope. What we were doing at the time? Nope.
It was a missed call. It was Valentine's Day, so I wasn't in the mood for conversation.
Okay. Alright, so we already found it. Okay, that's why. Okay. Alright, so we basically finished the day. Wasn't there... did you go to the club?
Sorry, no. I think your button's undone.
What? My button?
Yeah, you've a button undone.
With his wang out, it's like, oh, sorry, I did not. Okay, that was random. Okay, guys, so I'm pretty sure Jaya is not the murderer because I already know. Well, I did have her as the murderer last time, and that's not what happened. So why would he meet somebody at 11 or at 10:20? How are you today? Blackouts. All right, let's just go to the next day.
David Hunt.
I can change my skin.
Then skins.
Dr. Decker dated his patients.
I had a hot date.
We went out for drinks.
I took photos of Jessica.
Dr. Decker did phone
On Valentine's Day.
and ask me for Nathan's number.
There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I?
He was preoccupied with finding
Photographs.
patterns.
Rocking chair.
I haven't been back to the beach since
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident.
where I find something
I set fire
beautiful in the sea.
to Hannah's clothes in the garden.
I dug the grave.
I wish I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Decker cursed me.
It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it.
Oh, Doctor, you surprised me. Reminds me of Officer Yates. Did I ever mention I had a special friend in the police force? Nah, it's not something you drop politely into a conversation. He's been doing some digging and he's found a couple things. There's a crime scene report that goes into all the gory details and another report that's about a patient you're seeing today, Claire. I'll put them both on the desk for you. And thanks for the grief counselling, by the way. It's really been helping, you know, I'm so glad you're here.
Look, I'm not touching her. All right? My hands are up here. I'm not touching. Professor Warwick. Okay, wait. Touch away. Can you make a guess as... Okay, well, at the end of the game, they're going to ask you who the murderer is. Last time, I got it on my second shot. First time, I thought it was her, Claire. And then I thought, okay, the only other person that I would imagine would be Jaya. And I got it on the second try. I wouldn't try to get it on the first try. And we're a little more than halfway there, so... I'm not sure if we'll have time to get there tonight, but I might continue this next Sunday. The arrest report says Claire killed David. I've underlined some things to ask her about. I wonder if Bryce buried David. What happened with Ben? Ask patients about the paper spike. What the fuck? Alright. Crime scene report. Alright. First name. Alright, so Dr. Decker. The victim was located in his office, seated on a chair behind his desk, soaked in blood with an obvious chest wound. Paper spike. So he was killed with a paper spike. Okay, stabbed in the heart. Estimated from liver temperature measurements to be between 8:30 and 10:30 p.m. Note that victim body was reportedly discovered at 10:20. Okay, so it's, death would have occurred within minutes. Okay, so he was stabbed. Let's take a look at her arrest report, the one we're seeing now. Christian Weber, police, okay. At 20:40 hours on Tuesday, November 8th, myself and PC responded to a call received from a neighbor of the Bauer House, Weston Park Avenue, concerning a reported disturbance. We arrived at the address and knocked on the front door, but there was no reply. When we then examined the rear of the property and gained entry through insecure patio doors, we entered the property through the doors, and I announced myself by shouting "police," but did not hear any response. We searched the premise. Upon entering the dining room, I saw a female seated next to a man who was lying on the ground. The man did not appear to be conscious. Both persons were drenched in blood, and there was a substantial amount of blood on the carpet, walls, and furniture. I noted what appeared to be a steak knife, on the floor, which was also covered in blood. At this point, I asked the woman to put her hands on her head, which she did. PC Holt secured the female while I checked the bed for signs of life, but found none. I asked the woman her name, and she identified herself as Claire Castleford. That was her husband. She had killed him following a search. No other person present at the house. I said to Castleford at 20:52, "You are under arrest of suspicion of murder." I then cautioned her and placed her in the back of the police. Okay, so she basically murdered her husband. Alright, so let's see what the fuck this is all about. Have you seen your arrest report?
It makes for interesting reading, doesn't it? I can tell you're dying to ask me about it. Fire away.
She smiles. The report says you were arrested for murder.
That's what it says. I can see you're confused. The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded when I stabbed him. The coroner says that David is dead. Everyone says that David is dead. There was even a funeral. But I know he's alive.
How was he fatally wounded?
David wanted to have a talk about our relationship. Not something any married person wants to hear. He said he'd been with Iris for about a year and that he loved her. He said he didn't love me anymore. Which I know is a lie. You don't just fall out of love with somebody. I reacted badly. I grabbed the nearest weapon I could find, which happened to be the steak knife, and stabbed him with it. There was so much blood. I instantly regretted it.
No shit.
So I fixed him.
Oh, so how the fuck did you fix him?
Sorry.
How did you fix him?
It was about a week later. I brought David back to life.
Oh, so that's your special power.
Not with voodoo, not with virginal sacrifice.
Gabriel Knight!
I just willed it to happen, and it did. Dr. Decker told me it was possible, but only if you're not buried. He says once you're in the ground, there's no coming back. But until then, you have a chance at resurrection.
What the fuck? How could you have a funeral if David isn't dead?
He's buried at Henley Church. You can go see for yourself. There's even a headstone. One of your other patients was a pallbearer. I never forget her face. You should ask him.
The one that's the gravedigger. Did you resurrect David?
Yes, resurrection. But now that I've seen the results, I don't think there's anything holy about it.
So he's basically a zombie.
I think reanimation is more an accurate term. Like, I'm an evil necromancer raising things from the dead.
She's crazy.
I think his brain was already decaying during the week that he was dead.
No shit, he was dead.
So when I brought him back to life, I didn't heal him completely. Just gave him life in the state he was in.
Wow.
I mean, he's hunting and killing things and trying to roast them on fires he can only light with matches, but that's about it. He's your basic Neanderthal. So I have a problem.
So what is the problem? Stupid question.
I'm being charged with murder because the police don't know he's still alive, and I can't get David to vouch for me for obvious reasons. I think it would raise quite a few more questions than answers, which is why I'm hoping that you'd be able to help me.
So how can I help you?
Considering the circumstances, I'd be grateful if you could see your way to declaring me temporarily insane at the time of the murder, to lessen my sentence. Because I'm not a killer, but I can't prove otherwise. You don't still think I'm a killer, do you, Doctor?
Of course, she's a fucking killer. No, you're not a killer.
Thank you, Doctor. So then you'll help me. You'll say I was temporarily insane.
Oh, shit, I can't do that. Yes, I'll declare you temporarily insane.
Thank you, Doctor. That's all I needed to hear. From you or Dr. Decker. But Dr. Decker wouldn't do that for me. He wanted something else.
What did he want?
Dr. Decker teased me mercilessly about my alleged ability. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David. Once, he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again. I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly. He changed his mind about me eventually. And then he mentioned the girl.
He mentioned a girl?
He told me he'd locked up a girl in the basement of his house. Just for me.
Crazy bitch.
And he asked me to reanimate her. It was Iris. I said I couldn't reanimate something that wasn't dead, and he said that wouldn't be a problem. So I agreed. I just played along. I was hoping it wasn't real. I assumed it wasn't real. But he was offering me what I wanted. A temporary insanity diagnosis.
Hey, I just saw the on Facebook we have Thibaut that said earlier today, thanks for digging out some weird ones. after the adventure games type die and retry, here is type and retry. And Rafik basically just says drugs. I think I'm gonna pin that comment. Alright. Okay, so did you help Iris?
It didn't happen. Dr. Decker called me from his house to cancel. He was furious. He said that Iris had escaped, and he blamed me for it. He said that I must have set her free after he told me about her. I knew it was all lies anyways.
So Dr. Decker was a
obviously
kidnapper.
titillating himself by reprimanding me. He knew I'd never want to speak to Iris again, so I couldn't prove it either way.
Wow, okay.
Bryce was a pallbearer for David. He's also a gravedigger, I believe.
Bryce. Do you know Bryce?
Smuggling a body out of a funeral can be difficult, unless you pay the right people.
So I guess, yeah, okay.
Dr. Decker asked if I could prove David wasn't dead, so I took him to the lake house. He saw that I was telling the truth. I can take you to see him too, if you like. Would you like to see David, Doctor?
Of course, I would love to see David.
Think, Doctor, think. Use your brain. Or your notes if you have to.
Yes, I'd like to see David.
Very well. In our next session.
And how are
I've been
you
to the
today?
lake house regularly, keeping an eye on David. I saw the girl again, the one I told you about. She was playing outside.
Do you know anything about the paper spike?
A paper spike is an odd thing to use as a weapon. I suppose if it went directly into the heart, it might work. Or through his eye, or perhaps through the ear into his brain. Or was it just a frenzied, bloody mess of a murder? Do you know, Doctor?
That was possible David was brought back to life? Are you lying about never seeing Decker outside of your sessions? Did you speak to the girl at the lake house?
I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy.
She was
I
crazy.
just watched her from the bedroom window.
From the bedroom?
She'd caught a fish. She was holding it in her hands.
Okay. What did the girl do to the fish?
I wasn't close enough to see, but for all intents and purposes, it looked as if the fish bit her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive.
It's just creepy.
How astute, Doctor. Yes, I did say I hadn't seen Dr. Decker outside of our sessions. That wasn't a lie. Our trip to the lake house was made during a session.
Ah. Okay. Of course.
You tell me. What could possibly explain that?
Do you think you might be seeing David's ghost? Is David not human? Are you thinking about David being alive?
Since I brought him back, I felt that there was something different about him. Something not quite right. I think it's his brain. But how ludicrous that you can bring someone back in the first place. It's like that book, Pet Cemetery. Funnily enough, he does smell of earth, but that's because he spends most of his time out hunting.
So he's like a wild animal.
If David doesn't exist, then that means that I really did kill him. He really is buried, and I really should be going to prison for a very long time. That just doesn't seem right to me. It's more probable that I reanimated him under Dr. Decker's guidance.
Of course. Bitch. I should tell Bryce that Claire says he's been smuggling bodies.
I assure you, David is not a ghost. I've touched him.
Oh, really? Alright, let's talk to Bryce. Do you smuggle bodies?
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Doctor.
Okay, do you know Claire?
That means nothing to me. Yes, Vienna.
Bastard. Alright, how are you today? Oh, did you bury David Kessel?
I'm actually a classically trained pallbearer. There are a lot of health and safety considerations. Not everybody can do it. Well, properly at least. Occasionally I step in if the funeral director is short-shouldered. I do remember her face. She wasn't upset in the usual way. She seemed agitated. Her husband must have been a giant. The coffin was so heavy. I remember because aft port side sprained his ankle. That and he wasn't lifting correctly.
Alright. How are you today?
Hello, Doctor. I've been thinking about our last session, and I just wanted you to know that I'm not a bad person. I know taking naked photographs is wrong, but you don't know what it's like until you face the same temptation. I'm assuming you don't know what it's like. Do you have an extra hour, Doctor?
No, I do not have an extra hour.
Thank God for that. There's someone else in my hour. A hooded figure, watching me and following me. I followed it too.
Okay. Who is the hooded figure?
I don't know who it is. My initial thought was that it was you. That I told you about my affliction and somehow you'd got it too. Now I think maybe it's the military or some organization that wants to use the hour themselves. Maybe it's Dr. Decker risen from the dead. I need to talk to you about him.
Okay, so tell me about him.
Dr. Decker frequently used that paper spike on his desk as an example. I'm sure he did it with the other patients too. He'd make me look at it, touch the point to see how sharp it was. He'd tell me that because I think it's sharp, it will hurt me. But if I thought it was nothing, it could pass right through my hand.
Okay.
I spied on Dr. Decker, not long before he was murdered. I'm not sure I should tell you what I saw in
Why?
his basement.
What did you see in his basement?
I'd been feeling uneasy with Dr. Decker for some time. I mentioned how he'd changed before, so I began spying on him at home. One night, the basement door was open, and Decker was returning upstairs. I skipped past him, and there she was, a girl.
So he's confirming the girl.
It was dark, and she was chained.
How was she chained?
Don't know.
Okay. What did you do?
I removed the chains, dressed her, and sat her in the police station. There's no evidence, though. No evidence of what he'd done. But she was free. I saved her. I'm not evil.
So he's basically the one.
I destroyed evil.
So he's basically the one that fucked the experiment that the doctor wanted to do with Claire. Okay.
Whatever it is that's following me, it doesn't want to catch me yet. If I move towards it, it runs away. And when I follow it past temptations. A bar brawl, an open till, an open bedroom window. Like it's testing me.
A bar till?
I split the brawl up.
Okay. So this is what he's doing in his 1 hour.
I did nothing. I'm not stealing anymore.
Okay, that's good. And about the window? Oh, you're playing the game too? That's cool.
Watching other people is somehow built into our genes, Doctor. There was an old woman in bed. I went inside. Her bed covers were smoking. I think she'd fallen asleep holding a cigarette.
Stealing?
I took the covers and put them in the bath. She'd have died otherwise. And no, I didn't take any pictures.
Stealing.
Is that supposed to mean something?
Don't forget that I'm on day 3, I believe. Day 2, day 3. So if you're on day 1, you might actually have something different. And don't forget that the game is random every time, so maybe in another version, maybe he doesn't steal anything. He still has some stuff.
I'm surprised I haven't been approached earlier. I mean, my skills in the military. Special ops would be a breeze, wouldn't it? Waltz in past everyone during the midnight hour, get whatever you want, and return to friendly soil. It also makes me think that they might already know all of that, and that they want to get rid of me in case I tell anyone else. Would you do something for me if they get me?
Of course I'll be there for you. Yes, I'll do something for you.
Would you tell Jessica?
Jessica.
I love her. She didn't really know me that well, but I did love her.
Why didn't you ever tell her?
And also, there's a hard drive in the bottom drawer of my drinks cabinet. Please destroy it. Please. Don't look at it.
Wow. Okay. Have you seen Jessica again?
Jessica is a beautiful woman. I've not spied on her since the incident we talked about. I have real feelings for her, Doctor.
That's good, Bryce.
We've never connected.
I love this guy. This actor's amazing. He's pretty good. Maybe you should try talking to her.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. It's nice you think I'm capable of such basic interaction with females. But I'm still in awe of her, really. I will think about it, though.
This is not helping me figure out who killed the doctor. How was your job?
I put my hand through a rusty nail at work today. It hurt like hell and bled like I'd been shot. I closed my eyes and thought, this isn't happening. The nail is just a worm, and it will wriggle through me. When I looked back, can you guess what I saw?
You saw a worm.
When I looked back at my hand, it was healed. Look, see?
Okay.
My hand had healed. The nail had become a worm and was wriggling in my palm. It was like a little miracle. Like magic.
Like some crazy David Blaine stuff. Do you think magic healed your hand?
I shouldn't really say miracle or magic. They're words that Dr. Decker used when he tried to get you to think things and make them real. But do you think it's real, Doctor? That magic is real?
Well, being a magician and a mentalist, I'm not going to say magic is real because he's going to say you're just like Dr. Decker, so I'm going to say no, it isn't.
And so it isn't. I envy you, Doctor. I wish I could be so sure.
What did you say, What did you say,
I find using nautical terms to describe the position of pallbearers fitting. Plus, most of them are 3 sheets to the wind. You know, drunk.
Do you smuggle bodies?
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Doctor. I saw Claire Castleford's husband in the coffin myself before carrying him to the grave. He is in the ground. I'm sure it wouldn't take much for the police to get an order to have him exhumed. Just make sure it's done on Tuesday morning when I'm off.
Alright. We have Jaya. Okay, let's talk to this dude, Professor Warwick. Oh, I remember him. Yeah, he's weird.
Professor Warwick, I'm a physicist. Where's Dr. Decker?
He's dead.
Is he really? Actually dead? Not a worthy adversary after all, then.
And this guy is stupid.
Dr. Decker challenged me. He tried to use my theories against me. Quantum theories. Do you really want to know? Decker's eyes used to glaze over whenever we talked about that. He didn't believe in quantum physics. As if it's something that you can optionally believe in. Well, it started with an experiment.
Okay.
Have you heard of quantum suicide, Doctor?
Quantum suicide, no.
Quantum suicide is a thought experiment that tries to explain the many worlds theory. You're looking at me blankly. I can see that you don't understand. I knew you wouldn't. Alternate universes. Essentially, if I were to shoot myself, then in some alternate universe, I'd still be alive.
Yep.
Now imagine.
That's a real term, yep.
If I could actually choose that universe. I'm taking a product off a supermarket shelf. Well, I simply applied that logic to something different.
So what do you apply it to?
Gambling. I set up an experiment whereby I would visit a casino and place a very large bet at a roulette table. Now, I would always bet on odd. Now, the results of this particular experiment were mundane. I won as many times as you would expect according to the laws of probability. But then, I changed a parameter.
So what did he change?
Quantum suicide required a loss of life to make it a realistic thought experiment. So I simply upped the stakes. Now, every time I bet on odd, I would place everything I had on that one spin of the wheel, and it worked. Well, for a while.
This guy's drinking during the session.
Why not gambling? My wife, Vanessa, left me for a neurosurgeon.
Vanessa?
She emptied our entire combined wealth into her barrister's wallet.
That bitch.
I needed more money. Physics provided me with a solution.
Who is Vanessa?
We were married for 14 years, 7 months, and 3 days. Vanessa couldn't have children. At least that's what she told me. She grounded me in reality. I'm not complaining. It's probably what I needed. But part of me always thought that one day I'd achieve immortality through science and we'd be...
Yeah?
It wasn't to be, though.
Wait to see what's coming up, buddy.
Well, yes, it bothered me, especially now that I find out that she's pregnant. Oh, no, it wasn't a rocket scientist that was required, but a brain surgeon, it seems. I have considered putting that neurosurgeon onto his darkest timeline. But I'm not a killer, it would seem.
Alright, so why did the experiment stop working?
Dr. Decker killed it, and I can't get it back.
Why not? How did he kill it?
No, I don't know anything.
What did Decker kill?
My theory, quantum gambling. If the stakes are high enough, you will win every time by simply shifting your consciousness into that branch that wins. It's tricky, but it can be done.
Of course.
But Dr. Decker didn't like that. He saw me becoming rich and powerful, and he hated that. That's why he proffered the hangman's paradox.
The hangman's paradox. What is that?
Well, imagine a judge sentences you to death. Now, it will be Monday or Tuesday next week, but it will be a surprise. Well, which day do you think you'll be executed?
All right. So, do you think he would be executed on Monday or on Tuesday? Technically, and this is what he's going to explain, it can't be Tuesday, because if it's going to be a surprise and he's not killed on Monday, well, then he is going to be killed on Tuesday. So anyways, I think it's going to be Monday.
Well, Monday does seem likely, yes. Because if you're still alive on Monday at midnight, then Tuesday won't be a surprise. But if you're sure that it's Monday, then that won't be a surprise either, will it? Decker tricked me. He told me that sometime in the future I would lose a bet, that I would lose all of my money. Now, this didn't seem likely because I had quantum gambling on my side and it was working. But he unnerved me. He made me doubt myself. And then it happened. Recently, I lost everything that I'd managed to build up since Vanessa left me.
Congratulations, buddy. Why would Decker hate you becoming rich and powerful?
Honestly? Well, I think he feared quantum physics. He didn't like things being explained in terms of science. Almost as if he'd have preferred chaos.
Okay. So what were you doing on Valentine's?
I was at a fundraiser for a charity called Mindstretch Outreach. Don't know how I got roped into that. I can't remember. But it was full of very clever children with bizarre outlooks on life. And Jaya. It was Jaya who asked me to go.
How well do you know Jaya?
Oh, she's Dr. Decker's lovely assistant. I imagine she's your lovely assistant now. Yeah, she always smiles and makes me a cup of tea before a session. Smile. Which reminds me, my session. Can we talk about my problem now?
Yeah, you're an idiot. What's Mindstretch Outreach?
It's full of poor kids with very capable minds. I did give them a talk on quantum tunneling once, and they loved it. Not sure it'll put dinner on the table for any of them, though.
What's quantum tunneling?
Oh, you're going to have to Google that, Doctor, I'm afraid. I'm not a walking Wikipedia. I'd love to tell you, but I am paying you by the hour. Maybe look up Schrödinger's cat whilst you're there.
Schrodinger's cat? What the hell is that? Schrodinger's cat is a thought experiment sometimes described as a paradox divided by Austrian psyche. Is a problem of what the fuck? Alright. So a cat, a flask of poison, and a radioactive source are placed in a sealed box. If an internal monitor detects radioactivity, the flask is shattered, releasing the poison which kills the cat. The Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics implies that after a while the cat is simultaneously alive and dead. Yet when one looks in the box, one sees the cat either alive or dead, not both alive and dead. This poses the question of when exactly quantum superposition ends and reality collapses into one possibility or the other. What the fuck did I just read? Oh my god. Alright, thank you, Professor Warwick. Alright, let's talk about your problem.
I'm not a gambler, Doctor. I'm a scientist. I need more money. It's true I've run out of money for my research.
What is your research?
An opportunity has arisen.
Alright, so what is your research?
Quantum gambling. It's a pet project. It's got nothing to do with work. But if I don't have significant amounts of money to lose, then there won't be enough jeopardy for the experiment to work.
What opportunity has arisen?
A very wealthy group of individuals have offered to pay me a very large sum of money if I attend their next private soiree. They don't want to talk or anything like that. They want a practical demonstration.
Okay. It's saying that for every action or choice that you make, there are infinite reactions to that choice. Really? Okay. What sort of practical... Hey, wait, who do you work for?
The Ministry of Defense, of course. Guns aren't going to win the next war. Quantum physics is.
Okay. What sort of practical demonstration?
They'll pay me £1 million if I can successfully survive 6 rounds of Russian roulette. Now, I am worried because of what Dr. Decker said, but, well, I can't help but thinking that the stakes are so high I can't possibly lose.
Wow, okay.
What do you think, Doctor? Should I take them up on their offer?
I don't remember what I said last time. I think I said no. I don't think he should be playing Russian roulette.
No, I suppose you're right. In a darker timeline, you probably said yes, and I'm dead now. I earn good money where I work. How do I stop losing it?
How do I stop losing it? Stop gambling.
I take your point. But I suppose to decide
why would you
whether
say
to
no?
continue gambling or to stop gambling is a gamble within itself, isn't it? Well, my time is up. Will we be having another session or... No, don't answer that. It'll turn you into a gambler like me. Infectious. Isn't it?
Infectious, isn't it? Alright, so he's out of here? Okay, so that's cool. So we still have Jaya we need to talk to. So let's talk to her. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief counselling. I emailed you Mariana's address. I don't know why you'd want it. I suppose you're going to start doing home visits now, like Dr. Decker?
Why would I want Mariana's address?
Doctor, if you don't want it, don't text me and ask for it. It's all right. I don't mind doing menial tasks for you. Someone has to do them.
Yeah. Home visits?
Yes, Dr. Decker started doing home visits for Mariana. He said she couldn't concentrate properly in his office. I hope you're not thinking of doing the same thing. I need you right where I can see you.
Are you spying on me?
Checks and balances, Doctor. Somebody needs to be watching the watchman, so to speak. Make sure you're helping, not hindering.
I should ask Mariana about Decker's home visits. Any news on Ben?
I think that's all settled now. We are agreeing to pay Ben £5,000 and he's agreeing not to say anything about what he saw.
What the fuck did he see?
He thought he saw a creature coming out of Dr. Decker's mouth. Well, at least that's the reason he's given for not emptying the bins that night. Either way, it's not the kind of publicity that we need. Shiny, happy, sane people.
Wow, okay.
He probably did his fair share of helping and hindering. He was definitely helping in the beginning, but then seemed to lose sight of things.
This is fucking weird. How did Dr. Decker lose sight of things?
I think he was so overwhelmed by the patients he was getting. His curiosity just got the better of him. There was a definite turning point.
What was the turning point?
Somewhere around the time Professor Alderby turned up, that seemed to unsettle him. And then we had a flood of extra weird patients. I think it was all too much for him. I think I misjudged him. I hope you deal with it better.
So far I'm doing good.
Grief is such a strange word if you keep saying it. Grief, grief, grief. It sounds like somebody's being whipped. And you're going to ask me how I feel today?
Yeah, how are you feeling today?
I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief.
Alright, bitch. Tell me about the paper spike.
It's in that police report that I gave to you. You should really take a look at it.
Yeah, I did. Anything else to share about
Some
Decker?
mornings I come into work and still expect him to be here. Sometimes it feels like he actually is here, watching over me. We had a connection. It's gone now, though. You can't have a connection with the dead, can you? Not for too long, anyway.
What kind of connection?
Dr. Decker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Mariana around.
Competition?
Sorry, I didn't mean I was competing. I was happy Mariana was going out with him. I didn't want to be romantic with him. We had a stronger connection than that.
What was a
Dr. Decker and I shared some philosophy. We'd both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind, and we agreed with a lot of what it said. Have you read that book, Doctor?
No, I have not read that book.
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples. It's not a fun read, but if you're into psychology, it's a blast. Psychokinesis is the ability to change the physical world without actually touching it, just by using your mind. It's not just about bending spoons. It covers all sorts of things like telepathy, telekinesis, telesabalas. Shoot me, I'm a Kojak fan. Like I said, all those cool things are in Cult of the Kinetic Mind, apart from Kojak, obviously. If you ever get a patient who thinks they can change the world with just their mind, then duck. Just in case they can. But seriously, do a whole load of shrinking and make them better. Whether you believe in psychokinesis or not, you'll need to figure out your approach with those that do.
Which is basically all of the ones that I had before. What approach?
How do you make people who think they have special powers better? Do you remain passive and support, encourage them, take them away?
I imagine you remove their powers.
That's what I'd try to do.
There we go.
No, not at all in my experience. Dr. Decker had an unusual number of patients who claimed psychokinesis. Either he'd been specifically looking for them or someone had been sending them. It's entirely possible that someone is targeting this practice with psychokinetic patients. To what end, I don't know. It's no coincidence that most psychokinetic patients are diagnosed as insane, or at least temporarily insane. It's a handy diagnosis if you're facing criminal prosecution, especially if it's for murder.
So what did you do on Valentine's Day? Wait, what is psychokinesis?
I was at home on my lonesome, Doctor, like I said before.
Why couldn't Mariana concentrate in the office?
Honestly, I think Dr. Decker had a bit of a crush on Mariana, or vice versa.
Who wouldn't?
I'm not really sure. There's some footage from their home sessions if you want to see them.
No, don't show me the footage.
Yes, perhaps best to leave that alone.
She was kidding, by the way.
Oops, that was a strange thing to say, wasn't it? Quipped. Am I all whips and chains in the bedroom or dominant in the boardroom? Don't answer that, it's not a question. It's early days for a harassment suit yet, what with Ben's nervous shock already.
Yep.
Dr. Decker did send me to see his mother once. She was dying in a nursing home and he didn't want to see her. I remember him calling her a manipulative, evil old hag. You tend not to ask any more questions after that.
Yep, pretty much.
I didn't really speak to Nathan that much at all, but I have this strange feeling that I know him really well. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Nathan is the one that says that he keeps on reliving the same day, so he might be asking her like all these questions and she doesn't know. Let's go with Ellen, the nurse.
It's true then. I'd heard Dr. Decker was stabbed, but I didn't know for sure. It's weird that whoever did it would choose the paper spike.
Why is it weird?
Dr. Decker used to play with it in our sessions sometimes. You know, pick it up, handle it while we talked. I remember once, he pushed the spike through his skin. At this bit here, between his thumb and his finger. He said he didn't think I'd mind the sight of blood being a nurse and all that, but actually, there wasn't any.
There wasn't any blood?
I was a bit freaked out. At first, I thought it was a trick. A magic trick, you know?
Like David
some
Blaine.
Kind of therapeutic test. Show the patient this retractable spike and see how they react. But it wasn't. The spike was real.
That's just crazy. How do you know the spike was real?
Dr. Decker gave me the paper spike to try. It wasn't fake. It was pretty sharp, actually. I don't know how he did it. He said he just thought that it wouldn't hurt him, so it didn't. I'm fine. Works fine. Hilda's fading fast. Terry's Terry. Oh, you'd be pleased to know I don't have the locket anymore. I gave it back. All of it. Every single keepsake.
Good. That's good.
Terry seems to have backed down since I gave the keepsakes back. Actually, it doesn't seem like she's been very well. Not her usual self. Maybe she's got a bug or something.
Something about her makes me uncomfortable.
You told me to. Well, not in so many words, but you said I shouldn't have kept them. And what with Terry going around telling everyone I stole them, I didn't feel like I really had any choice. The locket, the watch, the ring. But I kept the little bird Sarah Decker gave me. I wasn't supposed to mention her.
Sarah Decker?
Dr. Decker's mother. She was one of my first patients, but she died a while ago.
Okay. So you knew Decker's mom?
Yeah, that's the reason I came to see him. I knew she was dying, but he refused to talk to me unless I booked a session, so I did. And well, here we are. Hilda's nearing the end. She's been sleeping a lot, not eating much. She hasn't been that argumentative either. Although, she did give me a vicious scratch yesterday.
Why did she scratch you?
It was nothing. I was just trying to give her meds. It's hard, you know?
We're all
I'm trying
dying.
to help her,
True.
but she keeps fighting me. It'll be better after she's seen her daughter. I've decided I'm going to do it tonight. She hasn't got much time left.
So you're gonna transform into her daughter?
You know the answer to that, Doctor. What have we been talking about? What can I do for Hilda that will make it all better?
You're going to kill Hilda.
That's the plan. I know, it sounds unbelievable, like I'm making it up. I wish I could prove it to you somehow.
I'll just do it.
We could try shifting now.
Sure.
Think of someone you really love. It might help if
Mariana.
you close your eyes. Are you thinking of them? Can you picture them?
Alright.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I don't think it's gonna work. On the bright side, that probably means you're not gonna die anytime soon.
Okay. What do you say when you
It's
shift?
tricky. I mean, I'll sound exactly like Hilda's daughter, but I try and keep it vague because I don't become her. I don't know what she would really say. I say things like, "It's okay, don't be scared, I love you, Mum," or "I love you, Dad." But it doesn't really matter what their relationship's like because it's not really them. I always do the Disney version. The best, most loving version.
The Gaston version.
That's what my patients want to hear. And maybe deep down they know it's not the truth, but it's got to be better than the reality.
We're trying to figure out who killed Dr. Decker. Why bother shifting if patient knows it's not the truth?
Does it really matter if it isn't the truth? Isn't it worth it if it brings them peace? Tell me honestly, Doctor, do you really think that what I'm doing is wrong?
I'm gonna say it's wrong.
So you're saying I should let Hilda die without seeing her daughter one last time?
Yes. Stupid bitch.
I don't know if I could do that, Doctor. I'd be letting her down. I'd have to think about it.
Oh. Did you talk to Dr. Decker about
Dr.
Hilda?
Decker didn't know about Hilda. I don't think I mentioned her to him.
Why did you say I'm not gonna die
As
soon?
far as I know, it only works on people who are close to death. That's the whole point of it. I have to hold their hand, and they have to think of the person, and they have to be near death. And those seem to be the 3 criteria. It just makes things complicated, doesn't it? I knew Dr. Decker's mother before I started seeing Dr. Decker. She's dead, and now he's dead. I'm sure you're going to have a field day with it. I told Dr. Decker that his mum was dying, that he should see her before it's too late. But he wasn't interested.
He sent Jaya.
It wasn't like he hated her. It was just like it wasn't important. He asked me to take care of it for him. He did send his assistant along to see her once. Sorry, your assistant.
What did he mean by take care of it?
It was about the 2nd, 3rd session we had. He said he could tell that I was a good person, that I wanted to help people, and that I should think really hard about how I could do that. That's how I discovered shifting. I think Dr. Decker showed me something that was always there. I've always wanted to help people. I hate to see people suffer. I don't think Dr. Decker made me into a shifter, but I don't think I'd be doing what I do if it wasn't for him. His mum was one of the first ones I tried shifting for. I didn't really know what I was doing that first time. I mean, I didn't actually expect anything to happen. I just thought, what would really help this woman? I thought maybe she would just imagine that he was there. But it actually happened. I changed into him, Dr. Decker. It blew my mind.
Alright, so let's do this quick, because I'm gonna have to leave in a few minutes. The wife is next to me and she's like tapping her toes. Alright, so let's go through Nathan.
I told you all I know about Dr. Decker. He started out good, then turned a bit crazy towards the end. When you start giving people more problems as a therapist, that's a bit crazy. I think they possibly curse other people, a bit like he cursed me. Sometimes you could see he was bursting to tell me about it, but he couldn't. He was ecstatic with power.
Maybe that's why he tried to call you.
I started out with depression. Now I seem to repeat days. Even if you don't believe the repeat days, then I clearly have extra mental health problems that he's given me.
So how did he curse you?
Curse. Well, remembered. I was hoping he'd forget. It's going to sound crazy. Dr. Decker said I would never be able to move forward until I came to terms with my grief. And so from this point on, I start to relive the same day over and over again until I made something of it. I believed him. I burned Hannah's rocking chair. The day moved forward. It was a good choice. I'm not sure I've got much left of hers now. I've burnt most of it, or given it away, just to make the days move forward. There was a moment when I was attacking a Salvation Army bin, but I gave in.
What happened?
I accidentally put Hannah's diary into a Salvation Army donation bin. They're like huge post boxes with a circular tray that makes sure things spill to the bottom. I tried to get in to get it back, but I gave up.
Oh, did you actually read the diary?
I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me.
Oh.
That she was going to break off the engagement. That she didn't love me anymore. I regretted it.
Shit. Poor guy.
I regretted that I more for Hannah so. I regret the grief. I regret all the days I slept through because of it. Had I known she didn't love me anymore, things would have been different. I'm a bit angry now. If I had that day over again, I may just still pull out in front of the driver. I didn't notice Dr. Decker had a paper spike. I haven't really seen more than a foot in front of me since Hannah died.
So he didn't know about the spike.
I didn't want to believe him. I remember I said, you can't just say things and they happen. He laughed and laughed. I think he was going mad. He said he'd give me a demonstration. He held his hand outstretched and told me to look at the flame. There was no flame, and then there was. He was holding a flame in his hand that had come out of nowhere. And he tried to hypnotize me to make me forget it.
What the fuck?
I didn't forget seeing the flame. He wanted me to forget it all, but I didn't. For whatever reason, he couldn't undo what he'd done. I was scared. I pretended like the hypnosis had worked.
Why were you scared?
I was scared what Dr. Decker would do to me if he found out I still knew. So I had to play along, keep coming to the sessions, pretend I hadn't seen what he'd done. It was awful, because I was suffering through the same days over and over again, but I couldn't talk to him about it, because he'd know. Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore? And thanks for the dating advice, by the way.
Oh.
I signed up for a dating website. It's a bit easy, to be honest. If I message something they don't like, I change it when the day replays. It's not very honest. If I'm being honest, I'd probably rather ask out one of the patients I've seen here.
Oh.
The friendly redhead with the accent.
Mariana.
I'm not trying to hide anything. I just don't know.
Do you want me to ask Mariana?
You've asked me that already. No. Wait, maybe that was yesterday. I don't know, anyway.
Alright.
He'd become bored of me, so I got much of my insight from calls or messages he'd take during our sessions. I think because he hypnotized me, he didn't want to play with me anymore, so I got basic therapist.
It's a basic therapist.
He told me lots of people get depression. To become more active, see more people. And although he wouldn't always be there to listen, Jaya would be.
Oh, Jaya?
Yeah, I talked to her quite a lot. I'm not sure how many days of that she'd remember. She seemed to care, which is more I can say for Decker.
Sweet. That's why she says that she feels that she did you kill Decker so you wouldn't have to suffer through repeat days.
I didn't kill Dr. Decker. I wanted to be as far away from him as possible. I don't know who did.
Okay. Alright, and we have Mariana. Good old Mariana. Alright, how are you today?
I'm okay. Thanks for asking. It's rent day, and I always feel a little blue on rent day.
What's rent day?
Rent day is the day I pay rent to my landlady.
And since you don't have any money...
Dr. Decker used to put my checks on that thing. I guess someone thought they weren't getting value for money. I actually don't have a lot of money. Sometimes a therapy check would bounce, but Dr. Decker would be okay with it. Oh, my checks are fine though, don't worry.
What about money?
I'm not broke. Men buy me drinks at bars though. Sometimes I'll get away with not paying at restaurants. Isn't that how it is for everybody?
No, that's not how it is for everybody.
I mainly like drive-thrus. I don't like crowds, and I find it difficult to stay in the same place for too long. I guess I'm a fidget.
A fidget?
crowds at nightclubs and bars are different.
Now, she mentioned that people buy her
The lights
drinks,
are
but she
dim.
mentioned
You
like
can
twice that she doesn't
slink
drink.
around without attracting too much attention. Sometimes I'll kiss a guy in a club, and then he just follows me wherever I go. It's creepy. I don't want everyone seeing that.
Okay.
They follow me wherever I go. Anywhere. Where do you think they follow me, Doctor?
Oh. Wants me to guess where people follow her. What happens after they follow her? Do they follow you home?
Yes. They follow me home. They're silent. It's like a trance.
They follow you at the beach? Oh, never mind.
It depends where they follow me. If they follow me home, they bang on the door for an hour or so, then leave. Other places, they just disappear.
They
I
just
don't see them
disappear. Where do they disappear?
You're not getting it.
You're not getting it, okay. What do you mean they disappear?
They don't just disappear into thin air. I think they return to the place I found them.
The bar?
I've not run into the same person twice. You've got a good memory, Doctor. Let's talk dreams. Sometimes I'll dream about a light. Deep in the ocean somewhere. I head towards it because it's warm and glowing like a beacon. And when I'm at the bottom, it's the most beautiful thing. Like a welcoming sun. Like I'm home. And then I wake up. It's so beautiful. It calls me. It's like I'm in a trance.
What does the dream mean?
What does the dream mean, Doctor?
I have no clue. Symbolic?
Yes, I suppose I follow that glow like people follow me. I still don't know what it means, though.
Have you had any more blackouts?
I've had no blackouts, and I haven't been to the beach since our last session. But I think I will today. Do you want to come with me to the beach? Doctor, I think you're getting a little anxious.
Damn it.
If you ever wanted to visit the beach, you can just turn up. It's not mine.
Alright guys, I think that's gonna be it. It's 10:30. We've been playing for almost hints used. I haven't used any hints. What the fuck? Alright. So as you can see, we played about halfway through the game. There's still like 2 or 3 days left. I'm starting to think it can either be the nurse or Mariana that are the killers. What I'm thinking, because my train of thought is that he didn't want to be lonely on Valentine's Day because he tried to ask Jaya out and she refused apparently. And he already saw the nurse. Oh, maybe it is. He saw the nurse and he saw the other girl, Claire. So maybe he offered one of them to see them, but we know he was attracted to Mariana. Alright, so we are going to have to think about it, and I might just continue on Tuesday. If you guys come back on Tuesday, I might just continue this game. We might finish it on Tuesday, instead of me going to my other weird games. So with that said, thank you guys for dropping by. Travis, was fun seeing you. Mike, and all of you guys. Vincent, and also Shadow, thank you again for the sub. I appreciate it. Your support is always appreciated, guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao.